A night in with Mauler and the drinker, getting trashed with the web screen thinkers. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Hop off the cork, have a glass of wine, as they'll say, I'll be fine. Trouble walking in a straight line, but pour me a Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, Mauler and the critical drinker.
Well, hello everybody. Mauler, hello to you, my friend.
Hello to you. It's been so long, and the last time, I believe, if my memory serves, we did a really fun little thing, adventuring drunkenly. That wasn't in a stream just talking about how everything sucks. It was actually about how things are cool.
Yeah, and things are always cool in the world of Resident Evil, so it was a lot of fun, and we'll be doing it again on Monday night, potentially. This time we're going to be doing it with the Resident Evil remake of 1, because, yeah, I think everyone's kind of done with seeing us play the original from 96.
Yeah,
we both played that quite a bit recently.
I want to say, there's 3 different playthroughs for each of us solo or whatever, and in total on the internet now, so you can go check out. So it's time to move on. Though it's funny, some of my fans are like, wait, is doing this with Drinker delaying you playing Resident Evil 2? And I'm like, yes.
It is, but it'll be worth it when we actually do it, you know? It'll be a lot more fun.
Happen eventually.
And,
it's like Firefly, where it's like, it takes a while, but we'll get through all of it.
We will, yeah. And with the remake, we'll probably have to split that into 2, because like we were just saying earlier, it's a bit of a chunkier game, and it's not the sort of thing you can just breeze through in a couple of hours like the original, so it does take a bit more time, but that'll be part of the fun as well, I would imagine. And this time, you won't have about 40 or 50 minutes of us trying to get the audio sorted so that everyone can hear Mauler.
In theory.
Yeah, unless something's changed.
I just my tactic is to just wait until it's working, and then I'll hit stream, so you could be the guinea pig. It's all good.
Sure, yeah, I think that's fair. And I'm 90% confident I know what was wrong, and so even if we did run into problems next time, hey, I can fix it pretty quickly.
All right, and maybe we'll play better such that we won't have as many shots to take so fast that nearly killed both of us.
I mean, yeah, part of the problem is I was trying to follow where you were going, because I was like, right, we need to try and do the same rooms at the same time, and then I quickly abandoned
that was
idea.
never going to continue. You're so much better the OGRE than I am, so I got lost because I kept going to rooms being like, why isn't the collectible here? It's like, it's not in this version.
You were in remake mode there.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the remake, it's been a while since I played it, and so I think we'll be on a level playing field. If anything, you'll be better at it because you've played it more recently than I have.
I did the hard mode, right, and it was kind of tough in a good fun way. I want to see you stream that, not on our drinking mode, but I'd love to see you do that on a solo stream sometime. The hard mode.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see me get killed quite a lot, I'd imagine. But yeah, I think for the purposes of our stream and not dying of liver failure, we should probably put it on standard or easy or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, if you want to, yeah. The fucking difficulty settings on that game are like, do you want to climb a mountain? Do you want to hike briskly? Yeah. It's like, what? just say the normal things.
Give us easy or hard mode, please.
Yeah. The first anyway, I don't want to climb a mountain. And my chat no, you do. That's normal mode. And I was like, what? Why would they call it that?
Anyway, welcome everyone to Resident Evil Chat with Mauler and Drinker. We're just going to spend the next 2 hours talking about that. Well, while we've got the time, and while we've still got a few episodes where we can still do it, should we give you the pointless facts?
Yes, let's do it right now.
All right, I can give you facts for 1981. It's kind of a busy year for assassinations and attempts, actually. After getting inaugurated as president in January of that year, Ronald Reagan was shot and almost killed in March of that year by, John Hinckley Jr. So that's one assassination attempt. John Paul II was shot and wounded in St. Peter's Square in Rome. That's the second assassination attempt. And there was a third one. Where was that one as well? Oh, I've lost it. Damn. I had a third one listed there as well. Someone else made an assassination attempt as well, and it doesn't seem to be there. Damn. Apologies. But there was 3 in that same year. So it was kind of a rough year for that sort of thing. Prince Charles married Lady Diana. I'm sure that marriage was destined to do well. Yeah, I'll go the distance, I think.
Mhm.
The first ever cases of AIDS were reported, so boo to that. Beginning a decade of really
Yeah,
pandemic that spread across America.
this stream is not pro-AIDS. I think that's a
It's
safe.
not. No, we're anti-AIDS,
Yeah.
if anything.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
anything.
On plus side, though, the first ever space shuttle flight took place. Columbia was launched in April of that year. So yay to that. We're pro space shuttles.
We
and
are pro that,
rockets
yeah.
and stuff. We like rockets. They're fun.
Obviously, if a space shuttle gets AIDS, then it gets complicated because we're like, well,
Yeah, I'm not sure
know.
where I'd be with that one.
mm,
In the world of film, though, in that year, the biggest movie of the year by far was Raiders of the Lost Ark. That brought in $212 million domestically. Lucas was on a bit of a roll in the early 80s.
must
I mean,
felt pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, coming off the back of Empire Strikes Back, and it's like, bam, I'll just create another amazing franchise, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Done. Easy.
Oh man, and it's even in retrospect, right? It's like Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Obviously, I mean, what it was looking back, what effect it has, not how it currently sits. But hey, he's not responsible for that anymore.
Yeah,
well,
you can just laugh.
Depending on if you think he actually is, because he's the one that signed the paper.
Yeah, he didn't have to do it, but I understand why he did it at the time. I'm sure
you understand? Was it the dollar amount, or
yeah?
But again, he did give away a lot, right? I think he didn't like Bestellio. It's whatever. Yeah. I think he was kind of like, I'm probably done with Star Wars after the prequels. That's his input complete.
I think it might have been Dial of Destiny. No, not Dial of Destiny. What's the other one? Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think that's what finally did him in.
People still try to argue that one's not that bad because of Dial of Destiny. I'm just like, dude.
I know. I find myself starting to go down that road, and I have to keep telling myself, no, damn it, it's not. It's not good. Don't get suckered in. Yeah, other stuff that came out this year. You might have heard of this, Superman 2. I heard that was not too bad.
Oh yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's wild, actually. The top 10 of this year: Stripes, The Cannonball Run, Chariots of Fire. For Your Eyes Only. Bond movies are pretty solid for like being in the top 10 when they come out. Time Bandits, all in the top 10 domestic of that year. But we also got American Werewolf in London. Excellent movie, actually. Das Boot, another excellent movie. Well, TV show, and then became like a mini movie as well. Mad Max 2, Quest for Fire, The Evil Dead, Excalibur, Halloween 2, and Escape from New York all came out in 81. It's a pretty good year for movies now that I look at it.
I mean, it's old, so it probably was.
I mean, yeah, it's just, well, I think the thing that we always comment is the variety of things that you get in the top 10.
Yeah, because even if you don't like a lot of these movies, you'd still be like, well, look at those genre differences, though, and the creators behind them.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. Anyway, well, how about we bring our panel in, because we've waffled on about Resident Evil and movies and stuff for long enough. We need to get some guests in here so we can talk, damn it.
I agree.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to Little Platoon, the Feral Historian, and Kada. Hey guys, it's good to have you all here.
Hello.
What's up? What's up?
We have got
Greetings
two new
all.
gentlemen. Yes, I like that. Well, cheers to you. We've got two new gentlemen here for the open bar debut, Feral Historian and Kada.
I had to bring the tequila out for this one. Yeah,
I like your thinking, man.
I wasn't gonna drink today, but I was like, everybody else is drinking, and I'm succumbing to peer pressure. So fuck it, let's just take a shot then. So
do that.
Yep.
I'm on the bourbon tonight. Oh man, we've got some classy drinks going on. Platoon, what are you on?
Sadly, tonight I'm on nothing because I have work to do later. It's a real shame.
Wait a minute. You get drunk while doing your recordings. I know that.
I do, yeah, sometimes.
You're a liar.
Well, anyway, now that we're all assembled and we're ready to go, I don't know. Shall we tackle a couple of topics? While I can still actually pronounce words, which is actually getting kind of marginal at this point.
Well, I think that's valid. I think we could take the W on that. I'm going to be referencing these things for chat. Just if you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry about it.
It's funny, a lot of the people in chat, a lot of the questions are like, how are you guys feeling about oranges, and how's everyone's weekend going?
If I
how
may,
was your weekend?
The recent week has been fucking insane. Me and Gary happened to schedule launching our in 7 years of development, talking and breaking down all the seasons of Buffy and Angel bi-weekly. Me and Drinker have stumbled now into doing a bi-weekly sort of playthrough breakdown of Resident Evil games.
Literally.
I've been fucking fighting YouTube indefinitely over the copyright for the Marvels video, which it's now good to go as far as I'm aware, which was this Sunday. There's the editing for the next stuff that I'm working on. Fucking EFAP Movies 100 is on the way. I've spoken to Drinker about plans to relate to that. It's going to be a potentially big fun thing that we're working on. There's enormous editing problems with that. And then at the same time, this crazy shit is going on with some dude who has made videos, like countless ones on Drinker, Gary Az and stuff, who's now like a major plagiarist, just steals people's videos, manipulates like artists into framing them to take the fall on certain copyright takedowns that are false. This is like, what the fuck? And meanwhile, we're setting all this up to talk about it, and people are like, oh, you're talking about copyright takedowns and plagiarism? I know what subject this is. And I was like, no, you don't. It's like, yeah, I'm curious with fucking Origins of 4 as well. And then you got like Pragmata, the M Mouse PI thing. The Bond game's on its way. I assume you want to check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to play the fucking Resident Evils. It's been a bit. There's lots of stuff going on. It's crazy to juggle it all. But you know what? Dream job, because it's all stuff that's interesting and fun, and you love these movies and games and TV shows. Less fond of the copyright takedowns, of course, but hey, getting spotlights on it is always good.
I mean, in one way, it's great that my critics are such hapless retards that I don't even have to do anything. Like, they literally just undo themselves and get like wiped out.
There's a guy who is like having an existential crisis because he covered for the plagiarism one, and there's this clip. I sent it to one of my friends because I saw it live. It's the funniest shit ever. He's like trying to struggle to explain why he covered for the friend and what it means, and he just has this moment where he goes, "Man, if we don't call out plagiarism, who's going to take my words seriously when I go after Critical Drinker?"
It's like, that is my divine mission. Like, I have to take down Drinker.
Jeez. How lonely do you have to be? That's your thought process? Not
yeah,
you're taking other people's stuff?
It's like, it's very hard to watch most of these people and conclude they ever leave the house.
Yeah. It's hilarious. So, I mean, I'm happy for them to just get on with it and destroy themselves in the process. Like, have at it, guys. It'll be fun. Yeah, so anyway, I guess we look... the first thing I was going to talk to you guys about was Avengers Doomsday. It's going to be a big movie that's coming out later this year. And by big, I mean insanely big, like $600 or $700 million budget, which is arguably absurd. Is that probably the word I want to go for here?
It's definitely applicable
as far as budgets go. But they released the first proper teaser for it. They've released the mini teasers, I guess, for all the individual characters that are going to be coming back, like Thor, Steve Rogers, that sort of thing. But now at CinemaCon, we got the first proper one, and the reaction seems to have been pretty positive to it overall. But was it? Or was it paid for? Well, there's theories about that. Let me see if I can bring it up here. So this is from Cosmic Book News, implying that Avengers Doomsday CinemaCon hype was questioned over paid show claims. It says here, the reaction to Avengers Doomsday at CinemaCon is now getting questioned, with Puck News' Matthew Boloney openly wondering if Disney stacked the room with influencers and paid plants to help juice the response to the footage. This has apparently been verified to a degree in that a lot of the people there were not industry people. They were influencers. Let me see here. Yeah, it says here, do you believe in all the hype? The people that were hooting and screaming, do you believe they were paid plants? Fennessy said, genuinely doesn't know, because we talk about this a little in the big picture. Disney denies it, but there were clearly influencers there. That's when Dobbins backed up his point. Yes, absolutely. There was a core group of people who were given access to CinemaCon who were not there last year, who were very, very clearly given access because of their particular interest in Doomsday. And he said it wasn't just that, it was fanboy culture, it was the genre stuff. The thing is, I don't think in my heart, I really don't care if they were there and paid. But Baloney cut in and explained that it does matter. If they're gaming the system, then these outlets are reporting on the ovations and the buzz, and that is fake. So that seems to be the implication here, that they paid a bunch of shills, essentially, and influencers to go there. Let me just remove that. And generate fake hype for this movie. I don't know. Does it sound plausible to you guys? Do you think it might have happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I could believe it. As somebody that like I kind of dabble in TikTok sometimes because there's some funny stuff on there. And you will be scrolling and you could see people that are like TikTokers and they're like, hey, about to go see the Avengers trailer. And then you scroll another one, about to go see the Avengers trailer. And then you go to their profile and it's like, you don't even do reviews or talk about this at all, but you have like 200,000 followers on TikTok or whatever. So it kind of makes sense if you think about it, especially with that Soups guy in there. He was probably the one that was just screaming when anything showed up because that's what he does. Can't stand that guy.
It'd be extremely surprising if they weren't doing it, but then I also don't really. I mean, what would you expect? Like they're screening stuff. They want to get a buzz going, so they get people in who'll get a buzz going. Some of them will genuinely like what they're there to see. Some of them will act like they like it more than they do. I don't really see why that's so different, though, than giving mainstream media publications pre-release stuff, giving them exclusive interviews in which their job is to fawn on an actor or a director, telling the audience nothing new, but just building up hype for the thing. It's just par for the course for an industry. They're desperate for mass popular appeal. They'll manufacture it in any way they can.
I mean, I would have thought if they really wanted that buzz and that hype, and the footage of people like cheering and hollering and stuff in the crowd, like, okay, release it at Comic-Con then. Take it to like San Diego or something like that and release it there, and then you can use that. Like CinemaCon is not, like, as I understand it, it's an industry thing. It's for insiders, it's for people who work in the industry. It's not there for public consumption. And so there shouldn't really, like, the buzz around something like that, it almost shouldn't be mattered because it's not going to be recorded in theory and it's not going to be shown to the wider public. It's just there to spread awareness amongst the industry of what's coming up. So it's a really strange venue to try and build fake hype where you're not supposed to see it in the first place.
I mean, I guess what would be the point about, so the industry voices, I don't know that they matter quite as much as they used to do. You're having a massive event, you're paying for all of this stuff, you've got the floor space, you've basically got a convention. If you're not also using it to drum up attention where attention matters these days, which is online and in social media spaces, then you're kind of misusing the money you've already spent getting yourself into that position. It's just another opportunity to advertise that they were kind of sleeping on it before. But now you can kind of justify it by saying, well, influencers are technically kind of the industry now. So they're invited to industry events, and it just has the happy double effect of providing us with advertisements after the fact. So it's just commercialization where commercialization previously wasn't.
Yeah, and it's not like they weren't doing it to try to not generate hype. That's why they allowed people to have phones in that event. That's why you got to see RDJ on the stage and Chris Evans and stuff like that. So I'm like, if you're gonna do this to try to generate some kind of hype, stop pretending to like put it behind some kind of paywall. Like you were saying, like all these people that are in the industry that go there, you might as well just either drop it online or wait till you go to San Diego because they're going back to Hall H this year. So it's like you should have just did it there. Or if you're gonna have all these influencers there, you know, have them drop something of them being in there so that you have something else to try to generate some kind of hype.
It feels like it's in this gray zone now where it's like, oh, this isn't for the public, really, wink, wink, but, you know, we'll let you have your cell phones so you can record what's going on. We kind of know that you're going to leak it, and it's like soft launching it almost. So it's a weird in-between. Yeah. I mean, overall, it kind of feels like Marvel are really playing every trick in the book that they can to try and hype this movie up.
They have to. I think the whole franchise is riding on this thing.
Yeah.
It's like this is their chance to reboot it into something people actually want to see again.
Yeah. You can't use the Spider-Man argument because people are going to be like, oh, Spider-Man is going to do very well. It's Spider-Man. It's always going to do well.
Yeah.
But what about Captain Clarence from last year? Thunderbolts? What was the other one? The Fantastic Four, which I actually thought was pretty decent.
Yeah, that one actually was not bad.
It was okay.
It didn't generate anything though. It didn't move the needle. Nobody really cared about that stuff. The only thing they've had that came out and did anything is nostalgia bait, which is all Doomsday is.
And that's why they're doing the Endgame tie-in as well, because that was the other interesting story, is re-releasing Endgame roughly around the same month with supposedly additional footage, and then Kevin Feige comes out and says, oh, this movie is going to tie in directly to Endgame, and then you get like the synopsis for Doomsday, which is it's going to unite old heroes with a new generation of heroes. It's like a new generation. You mean the only ones who've been on screen for the last 8 years? Because like, I think how much more of a bridge do you need between these movies? I thought that was the whole point of phases 4 and 5 and the beginning of 6, but I guess not.
I think they
should be illegal, by the way. This like years later release movie, and you're like, we're gonna add things to it, making it a 0.5 sequel bridge just to get people to watch it again. It's like that's not cool, man.
Well, yeah, because it makes you wonder like how many other franchises are going to retroactively go and do that as well. And
especially when all these poor souls that watch the 30+ fucking projects between these movies are told, no, that we're decanonizing that.
That doesn't matter now. Well, I mean,
the only thing that counts is would it just be Fantastic Four? The only thing that's really moving into this would be
the Thunderbolts as well.
I mean, maybe Loki. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think quite a lot of the characters that were brought in with phases 4 and 5 are going to be in the movie, but it's questionable how much of an impact they're going to have. Like, I don't think they're ever going on the premise of just ignore everything that happened in those phases. It's more just, it still happened, but it's not that important now. Just focus on Endgame. That was the last good one, and we'll pick up from there.
They'll lift individual bits from those properties. So, like, the fact that Thor has a kid is going to be very important to this film. It probably doesn't want you to remember everything else that happened in Thor: Love and Thunder, and I don't imagine that will all be referenced at all. But the kid will be, because they think they can use it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they took the same approach. It's like, okay, so the Fantastic Four, they did have their movie, and so they do have a kid too, and the kid's going to be important, but you don't need to know anything else about the rest of the story. The Thunderbolts, there's a guy with magic depression powers. He's important. The rest of that story, Ghost, probably you don't need to remember who she is. She might die. That'll be nice, but we'll wait and see.
I honestly want Taskmaster to come back again just to get killed after like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen to a lot of the other characters. Like, I think like Riri Williams and all of them, they're going to show up for like a second and they're going to do absolutely nothing with them. And they'll probably just be like in a background, just standing there.
Just have some giant bloodbath in the first 10 minutes of it and get them all out of the way.
Honestly, that would be like the thing I think the film would need to do to get me on board with it. Yeah, just kill everyone. Everyone. Basically everyone. And then reset the entire universe.
They could do that, but they're going to bring them all back in the next movie. That's going to be the whole point of it. And then they'll split off into a new like timeline where everyone's back and alive, but they're just not part of the story anymore. So don't think about them too much.
With how many characters they're bringing in, it's not even possible to like bring in all of the phase 4, 5, whatever, 6 people in. But at the same time, I would like to sit down almost everyone who works in these things and just show them pictures of certain characters. For example, do you remember the Scarlet Scarab in Moon Knight? Anyone? I want to show a picture of
shit. No, Mauler, fuck you. She's the first Egyptian superhero. And
let's sort of get that.
Okay,
she's only remembered as a meme, but I'd hold her up to some of these like creators. I'd just be like, "Are we getting her back?" And I could just picture them looking at me like you trying to trick me. That's not.
It's like a Rorschach test or something. Like you show them like a picture of the hero. What do you see here?
Well, it would be funny to throw up some actual nonsense ones and just have them nod and go, "Yeah, we might see them."
You make up a character. You're like, "Yeah, I remember them from that show," and you're like, "Not real."
Hold a picture of Gollum, and they're like, "Oh yeah, probably."
I want to see the shitty Z tier characters like Echo going toe to toe with Doom and just see what happens.
Well, she could probably fix him. That's like how dangerous she is. She could fix most of the villains. Just go and use Native American lesbian witch magic and then cure their trauma, and then he's solved. There's no villain anymore. Until we need to do a series with him.
He doesn't speak sign language, so she can't really do anything to him.
True. She'd have to get those magic implants that Kingpin gave her, but then haven't been used ever for anything.
Yeah, we're forgetting about the most powerful character ever. Marvel's Katie. Can't wait for her to come back in Doomsday. She's gonna be so powerful. It's gonna be great.
That's another one that they wouldn't even believe is real. They'd be like, "What?"
Wait, there's one from Secret Invasion, isn't there? Gaia.
No, we
No,
don't
yeah.
talk about that. That didn't
Isn't
happen.
she like
That's
straight
the-
up the
yes.
strongest character
Yes.
in the whole of Marvel?
Yeah, she's so strong that she inherited tattoos through DNA. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to remind people because you didn't even watch this show, right, Drinker?
No, you like warded me off it.
You would have had fun making fun of it, but just for chat, 'cause I know that 99% of them have no idea what we're talking about. This girl has every power that all the superheroes have, including Captain Marvel, the Hulk. She's got everything. She can do
And
anything she wants.
Got it
on
from
command.
a test tube as well.
Yep.
It's like you can create magic potions or like science potions that you can inject people with to give them all of the powers of every hero. They thought that was a sensible thing to do. Then they realized it wasn't, so we haven't seen her again. But then in the next main movie, you can now make Hulks with like a potion too, because they did that in Captain America 4.
In retrospect, I'm actually surprised they didn't allow her to summon Iron Man suit just through DNA. Just fuck it.
Just appears on her.
I mean, she had the rings from that one guy through DNA. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Hey man, you don't know his species. That could be a DNA.
You're just born
thing,
with him, dude. That's why they screamed during pregnancy. It's the rings coming through.
Ironically, I kind of agree with this guy. John Walker's the only one I care about.
I agree.
much.
Yes,
I
he's
think
the
that's the
best
case
character.
at this point. Where is John Walker? Is he safe? Is he all right?
Probably is the best character they've created in the last
Unironically,
several
they didn't
phases.
try to. They tried to make him like this bad guy, and everybody's like, no, he's actually the most heroic character that you've introduced. He's trying to save people. And even in Thunderbolts, they try to like belittle him, and he still comes across as just like a good guy. Like they have no idea how to write that character.
They try to paint him as a villain. We see him as a hero. They try to paint him as a goofy idiot in Thunderbolts, and we still see him as a hero. And it's like, damn, this guy's got some staying power. Must be something to him.
Yeah.
He's a good character, man. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in terms of budget, right? Because I was talking about how important this is for them and how much they're pulling out like every rabbit out of the hat to try and get the hype going for this one. Because really, there's no lead up to it. There's no phase that led up to Doom coming in. It's just they're plonking him in there, and it's like, hey, Robert Downey Jr.'s back. Get excited about that instead. But the overall budget of this movie is got to be insane at this point, because the conservative estimates are that Infinity War was around about half a billion dollars, right? Same for Endgame. And it's been very explicitly stated that this film is going to be more expensive than those, and probably by quite a significant amount, plus marketing. You know, the theory seems to be that you're going to need about 1.5 billion just to break even if you take into account distributor fees and all that stuff. And people are now seeing this movie as almost like a loss leader. It's like probably either it won't turn a profit or it's going to be fairly marginal. But what it will do potentially is get people interested in Marvel again, talking about it. And maybe that's more valuable than that initial box office return. Maybe.
That'd be my read on it. I don't think they can make money on this, but what they need to be able to show they can do is they can still get like $1 billion to 1.5, or if their dreams come true, a $2 billion movie. They need to show that, because it's not the money attached to that so much at this point. It's the people who are attached to that. It's all the tickets to the ball and the bums that go into seats. If you can't do it with this amount of money being spent, with all of the cards on the table, with nothing left in your toy box, then you're going to have to do a major rethink of what's going to come next, because that suggests that the audience is just soured on this genre, not just the story, but the genre as a whole.
But I think they already have, though. That's why I don't really see why they're spending all that money, because Avengers is going to make some profit, like, well, not profit, but it's going to make money in the eyes of like the normies. They're going to be like, oh, they're going to see $1 billion and go, oh, it's making money, because they don't think smart. But it's like, even if Avengers does like 1.5 or whatever, you still have what comes after that. So of course people are going to come and see Avengers because they like the name brand of Avengers. But as you saw last year, they're not just going to come and watch all of your other stuff. So even if these two films come out and they're marginally good, it doesn't even matter if the thing that comes afterwards, nobody cares about it.
Well, that's the thing, because what's coming afterwards, well, you'll get Secret Wars, which is the big blowout finale to everything, really. That's when the reset happens, though. That's when they're going to go into the new MCU, which is wiping the slate clean. I think it's going to start with X-Men. And that's when they need huge momentum from the fan base to carry it over into that entirely new MCU, because that's them basically saying, okay, all those characters, all those plot lines and everything that you've been invested in for the past 20 years, we're done now. It's over. We're starting again. And here we go. And you need to try and stick with it, right? And not everyone will. And so you need as many people as possible just bought into the franchise in order to just get over that hump, because it's going to be a big one. And I get why they're doing it. One, the MCU has become so bloated and so convoluted with all this bullshit, all the TV shows, all the movies that people may or may not have watched, that you have to reset eventually. You know, you can't keep doing this with the same characters, the same actors. Like, everyone's getting older now. The actors are getting more expensive. The movies are getting more expensive to make. Comic books do this every decade or two, have their big reset. So it kind of makes sense to do it. I just really don't know if there's enough fan momentum and there's enough enthusiasm from normies to get it over that hump and have another decade or two of like the MCU as we know it.
I think its day is past.
Yeah, I think
we've talked.
I mean, I have a sentimental attachment to some of the Marvel movies for various reasons, but yeah, I think that time is over.
Yeah. Their most profitable, beneficial, like hype time was probably between Infinity War and Endgame, where they could release anything and it would make a bazillion because everyone wants to know what happens next in the story. And it's not like you can just go, so like a big event then with loads of people. And you're like, no. The reason why Infinity War like works is you have to draw it back, and it's like, well, so you have those chapters of the MCU, right? It's like Iron Man to Avengers to maybe all the bigger collective things, but then all the pieces in the middle, they weren't the horrible, awful films that everybody is dealing with right now. They were like pretty okay action, adventure, thrillers that, you know, change a bit in genre, but mostly have a character through line, and everyone's just sort of enjoying it. As you could even call it like the middle episodes of a season, and then everyone tunes in for the finale because everyone's promise is going to be fucking huge and major special effects and everyone you've ever known, and oh my god, we built up this bad guy, blah blah. It's like, yeah, well, we kind of recreated. It's like, no, you kind of need to recreate a whole fucking decade of good storytelling. So you're fucked on that front, I'm afraid. But we've talked about this before with Star Wars. It's like, oh, what if they released a great Star Wars movie? It's like, you might need 3, I think, if you want to get back 3 in a row. And at that point, you're just trying to recreate it from scratch, which is essentially what they're doing.
Yeah, and Star Wars doesn't have the same like consistent treadmill of new content like Marvel has, where it feels like it's an evolving universe that's keeping pace with.
Not for lack of trying, though.
Yeah, they did try quite hard.
They certainly did, yeah, but they failed miserably. Whereas Marvel does have that, and you know, I made a video about this the other day, and it's like I suddenly got struck by this realization of like, oh my god, like this has become a generational franchise now. It's that old. You know, if you go back to the first Iron Man, that's 2008. That's getting close to 20 years ago. And the people who were little kids back then are now probably parents with kids of their own.
I was in middle school when Iron Man came out. I was in 7th grade.
And
Iron Man was the first movie I saw with my wife.
And and so you're not going to have the same loyalty, because a lot of those people who were kids back then have moved beyond it and they're not interested in these movies anymore. But then the next generation who are kids now, they didn't grow up with Marvel in the same way. They didn't watch those first movies when they were kids. And so they don't have that same attachment to it. And so I can kind of understand their thinking in that, okay, we do our big reboot, we do our reset, and we will now have an MCU for this next generation. And it's going to start from there. And then 20 years from now, we'll do the same thing again.
It's why on paper, starting again with the X-Men or starting again with something like Spider-Man, something that has kind of proven multiple times appeal to younger generations, almost whenever that story is told, is a good idea. And as the bridge, you know, again, on paper, the idea of hinging quite a lot of your big reset Avengers movie on relationships between parents and kids could be a really sensible one because of the dynamic you just laid out. A lot of the people who will be taking their kids to see this film were kids when these films started and now are adults, and some of them will have kids of their own. And so now they're seeing a story which is kind of for them, but also for the kids that they're bringing up. So you've got, you know, Thor has a kid, Captain America has a kid, the Fantastic Four have a kid. They're all quite young as well, which is kind of tracking where your original audience demographic now sits. If they play those cards properly, that could work really, really effectively. And then you can reset and you can do it. You can do an X-Men film, coming of age again, younger cast to get that next generation interested in where the story's going. All of those things on paper make a huge amount of sense. But the problem is when they start fleshing these things out into scripts is normally the part at which they stop making sense. So it's like, do the Russos still have it? I haven't seen anything since Infinity War that makes me think the answer is yes, but I could be wrong.
I think.
I mean, we also
of works up to this point. It reminds me of the Snyder stuff, where people are like, I love his work, and you're like, how much of their work have you watched outside of the superhero stuff?
Yeah,
because
the
I
Russos
watched
have not made a good movie. Have you seen The Gray Man?
Yes, it's bad.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Electric
saw
State,
Electric
awful.
State.
Electric State is awful.
So
I actually
bad.
skipped that one.
And I got the impression they had a lot of creative freedom with that one and kind of a blank check financially. And holy fuck, was that terrible. So
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you know, being like, oh, the Russos are back. This has always been reminiscent to me of Doctor Who with RTD. We've got the band back together, and it's like, great. They might ruin it more than anyone.
Yeah. I think the context of what Platoon was talking about is what matters, is all the stuff in between, because on paper, what you're saying, it could be very good, but the thing in between is what's the disconnect, because nobody really cares about all the stuff that you had beforehand. Like I said, Endgame stopped, and then after Endgame, it was just banger after banger after banger after banger. Now when you get here, you want to tell the story of, you know, Doom, or they probably would have still been doing Kang or whatever. You have that kind of momentum, and people are like, okay, I want to see this. But the stuff in between, there's no meat there. So
Yeah.
I truly feel like it doesn't matter where they go with this. Like, the time has passed. Like, there's no way that you could try to like rekindle what you've done. You might as well just go off on a high note.
Well, part of
after,
it too is that the culture has become so anti-heroic in the last 20 years that I'm not sure the basic premise of it is really going to be able to get that kind of traction.
I think you're right in that sense of, well, we've gone through peaks and troughs with this sort of thing, right? In the sense that the traditional Marvel style of heroes almost became like hackneyed and goofy and like uncool after a while. And so you saw the rise of things like James Gunn's take on superheroes, which is a bit more nihilistic, subversive, you know, different in the sense that he doesn't see traditional heroes, he sees flawed people that eventually rise to it through a different way. But then I think we might have come full circle in the sense that, you know, things like Night of the Seven Kingdoms was super well received when it's the simplest story ever, but it's just a good man trying to be a hero and trying to go on an adventure, and people loved it because it's like we actually do want traditional heroism. There's an appetite for it again. Maybe this movie's then coming along at a good time for this sort of thing. I don't know.
Well, if they can hit those beats properly. I mean, so one of the Russos, I can't remember which one, said, it was that slightly bizarre quote that I'm not convinced means anything at all. But when he said, we want to sort of get back to what superheroes used to be, we're going to cancel culture. It's like, I don't think you know what that means, but I think you're saying that because you understand where your audience is at the moment. Quote. As far as I know, it is. Yeah, I mean, I didn't double check it too much, but
if I was in a room with that guy and he said that to me, I would not know what to take from it.
Maybe he thinks She-Hulk deserved a season 2. That's the cancel culture he has in mind. We keep canceling all of these terrible shows, and we need to stop. But I mean, if the quote is real, and I thought it was because I've seen it repeated a few different places, but then it is the internet. You know, they did do something like this with Avengers originally in 2008 through 10. You had that kind of reaction to quite a miserable world at the time. You know, 2008 financial crash comes along, everyone's miserable, Occupy Wall Street's talking about how evil billionaires are, and then along comes a Marvel Cinematic Universe that sort of understands that its job is to be optimistic and quite sincere. It even throws in lines, the one I always mention in this conversation, in the first Avengers movie, when it says, I think people need a little bit of the old-fashioned right about now, when explaining why Captain America's costume is kind of goofy and old-fashioned. It's like, well, that's what we're looking for as a culture at the moment, that genuine, sincere heroism. As you mentioned, we've had Night of the Seven Kingdoms, even One Piece to a degree. They both trade heavily on sincerity and good old-fashioned heroism as virtues, and they've both done pretty well. So maybe the Russos understand this point. Maybe they're able to do it, and they are bringing back the old people that everyone remembers nostalgically as being associated with that positive and uplifting feeling. So there's a world in which this all comes together really, really nicely. Just might not be this world.
Well, I think there's a middle path as well where this does come together really nicely because people are excited to see all of their old heroes, all their old characters, all their favorite actors come back for one last great adventure. and then they leave satisfied, and that's it. They've got no interest then in watching further adventures with a new group of heroes because they're done now. And I wonder if that potentially is going to happen as well. Kind of like that post-Endgame slump that we got where everyone was super excited to see where this was all leading, like for different reasons, because it was a well-constructed story that led up to it, but still they all went to see Infinity War and Endgame, and then they were kind of done. They felt satisfied. They were like, yep, that's it for me with the MCU. Got to the end of this story. I don't really need it anymore now. And that's why you got that bleed of audience. And you've got the same thing here where it's like they're coming back now for slightly different reasons, the nostalgia, but they still will come and see it. They might get a satisfying feeling by the time they're done, and then they've left because that's as far as they want to go with it again. I don't know.
I mean, so that quote, Platoon, it looks like it was originally said by Marlon Wayans, and it wasn't superheroes, it was comedy, and then Wong Updates posted it with the change of attribution, and then a couple of people retweeted it. It became like a thing for a second there.
Oh, so I've been tricked by Wong. Shit.
No.
Wong Updates is a funny account. They do the closer they can convince you that it's a real thing, almost the better the work they're doing. But no, I could have believed it. That's why I was just like, did he actually? Because I remember hearing that was a quote from someone else, and I was like, oh yeah. So it was about a scary movie canceling the cancel culture.
Fair enough.
Which I hope they do as well.
Indeed, yeah. Let me answer a couple of super chats before we go on here, because there's a few biggies that have come in while we've been doing this. The first one here is watching old ER videos got me thinking, is the golden age of YouTube movie analysis behind us? We still have great creators like those on the panel, but now you can't even play scenes without trickery. Is an outlaw style video about a movie even possible? This is a copyright thing, I guess.
It depends. It depends on how you do it. Like you got to do the workarounds. Got to do the workarounds for real.
To be clear, it's more nightmarish recently than I've seen loads of people saying they've cranked it up. Obviously, me and Platoon have been talking about it loads on, but behind the scenes sort of stuff. Because we don't like to complain all the time on streams or anything about copyright, but like it is a fucking nightmare, and it's definitely gotten worse since I started. And
definitely worse for long form content as well. Way worse.
Yeah, anything over an hour and you're almost out of luck. Like even when you do all this, like, I've got a lot of strategies for getting around it, but it's really getting to a point where the copyright it like damages your intent for how you want to present something. It's really annoying them because if you fuck with visuals or if you clip scenes so that certain dialogue doesn't show up so that you could get past it, it's like, well, you're not really showing the whole thing then, are you? And it's like it's an awkward, but I don't know. Now it's just a matter of you have to keep fighting copyright claims. You just have to wait longer until your video might get through. But even then, they might push back. So no, it's golden age in the sense of them fucking off, maybe. And maybe this is a consequence of all the stupid shit they did on Twitch. Or and YouTube's tightening the belt even more to make sure they don't end up in trouble. Do you remember that era where there was like channels streaming constant episodes of Simpsons, Family Guy, and South Park and stuff?
Yeah. And
loads of crazy content stealing, and it's so annoying because we warn about this all the time when it happens. It's like you're gonna fuck over the people who actually like are just trying to make breakdowns and stuff.
Which sounds better, a movie written by JJ and directed by Ryan, or a movie written by Ryan and directed by JJ? None is not an answer. Also, JJ films are back this year. The End of Oak Street produced, and The Great Beyond directed, wrote, and produced. Well, I think I'm going to just say it, like, Ryan Johnson is a much better director than he is a writer. He's a dog shit writer, so I'd much rather have it like directed by him and
written by JJ. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that would be the lesser of two evils for sure.
Still pretty evil, but
yes.
Yeah.
But just imagine how much worse it would be if Ryan wrote it and then JJ directed it. Like,
I don't think I could sit through that.
He's so god awful, and then you get hit with a lens flare and the subversion. Like, no, dude, I'm gonna get off of that.
But it does make me wonder, like, because he's mentioned them here. Are we seeing the JJ Renaissance here? Is he coming back? Is he on his redemption arc now? Or
he just been put on day release from whatever prison he's been locked in for good behavior. He's allowed out for 6 hours a day, and then he gets a movie. And then if this one is also terrible and shit, he's never coming to see the light again.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty damning indictment of him, isn't it? Like, really, this is 7 years since we had Rise of Skywalker. It was 2019 that came out.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, that's a long time. You know, it's a lot of your career to have lost and be in director's jail. So I feel like he has been suitably punished for his crimes against cinema.
Yeah, give him one more chance.
I don't think
Maybe,
there is such a thing as suitable punishment for what he did.
Yeah, I mean, I think 7 years for what you did is probably a little. It's not long enough, but sorry. We'll,
Should have had
we'll
10,
just do what you
yeah.
have to do. Yeah, he does have a movie coming out this year. Okay. I mean, I guess I'll see. There's no trailer for it yet. I was trying to find a trailer. Got a lot of people
It will
on
just be. It'd be kind of fascinating to see what he does now. Like, has his style changed? Has he evolved? Has he learned any lessons, or is it just same old JJ? I don't know.
more
We'll find
lens
out.
players.
Yeah. I just watched all the James Bond movies on Netflix. Dalton is underrated as Bond. I think he's better than Moore. Goldfinger is the best Bond movie. Sean Bean is the best villain. What are you and your panel's favorite movies and bad guys? Well, I'm going to stick to Bond here. I will say favorite Bond movies. It's probably going to be GoldenEye, The Spy Who Loved Me, or probably Goldfinger. Actually, best of the bunch.
GoldenEye,
Dalton-
Goldfinger. They're just great.
Goldfinger is really good though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sticking
Goldfinger.
with Bond movies, it's like on one level I want to say GoldenEye, but then there's this little nostalgic part of me that says Octopussy, even though I know it's not great. I grew up on that stuff.
I know my favorite is still Sean Connery as a Bond. It's my favorite.
I
love
think
it.
he's like the definitive Bond, really,
yeah,
isn't he?
he's really good. It's like, especially if you go back and watch him, it's like he just brings a whole nother level to Bond, where it's like, oh yeah, that's James Bond, 100%. Like, even though he doesn't have the scar and everything like that, it's like, yeah, that's James Bond. It's very good.
Dalton's
But, yeah,
a tricky.
Also, no, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, I was just going to say Dalton's a tricky one for me to assess, right? Because I get that he's much closer to like the book version of Bond, and like he's kind of like a prototype version of the Daniel Craig era, where it's like he's much more serious, much more businesslike. He doesn't have like the campy sort of like winking at the camera that Moore had. Doesn't necessarily have the same charisma that Connery had. I don't know. I just never liked his movies because I felt like they were trying to be more like 1980s action thrillers rather than Bond films. They never really fit into the Bond's mythos all that well. And as Dalton as an actor, I never thought he was like good looking enough to be Bond. I could be on my own on that one, but yeah, he just never felt like he fit comfortably as Bond.
It was
for
a lot
me.
different. Like it was more action oriented, and it was more like
Yeah.
not necessarily serious, but more serious than the other ones. I don't think he's bad as Bond, but he is at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to like Bond actors.
Yeah.
Change of tone was a bit jarring.
I think
he's
when
above,
coming
Daniel
off the
Craig,
Moore
though.
era, it's
Yeah.
pretty big change.
Yeah.
Like, that was some goofy shit, and I absolutely loved it when I was a kid.
I
That's-
miss
that's-
all of that. That's what Bond should be. We lost the goof factor in James Bond. That's why I could never
Well-
really, many reasons I could never really get on board with Daniel Craig. Casino
Yeah,
Royale was okay,
yeah.
but the others
It depends
weren't.
on
It's
the
like,
level of goof, though. You know?
yeah, there are
I-
limits of goof. I'll agree with
You
that.
don't want
I
Die
think-
Another Day goof.
No, I was going to say, apart from that movie, I think Brosnan got the nice balance of goof with like some seriousness.
Mhm.
GoldenEye is probably the best example, where it's like he's
I
having
fucking
fun
love
with
that
it,
movie.
but also it's not like a stupid movie that you're not meant to take seriously. You know, so
I also
Yeah.
wonder how much what everyone's pick for favorite Bond is what Bonds they were watching as a kid. Because for me,
Yeah.
it's Brosnan through and
Yeah.
through. Like, I love Sean Connery, but I was watching those side by side. If you know what I mean. Like, my dad was like, "You got to see the old Bonds," and I was like, "New Bond, cool." It's like,
Yeah.
almost skipping the.
it is funny because as a little kid, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it was always the Roger Moore Bonds that were on TV for me. And so he was kind of like the Bond that I grew up with. Like, I knew Connery was there before him, but his movies were just never on for some reason. So I didn't see them until later. So I was
Mhm.
identified more with Roger Moore. And it's such a weird one because I know he's not very good, but I've just got such affection for him. There's something immensely just charming about the guy that I can't help but like. I don't know.
I mean, They're more rewatchable than like the newer Bond films for sure. Like because the newer ones, I think Casino Royale is probably the only one that has like good rewatchability. All the other
Yeah.
ones are just like The Dark Knight, and it's like fuck, man, I can't keep watching that. And the older ones are better. But yeah, my dad, he had all the VHSs of the Bonds, and he had us watching them and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just Connery all the time. Just like
It's quite a
rewind that shit.
sad figurative and literal death for Bond in the newest era. It's all just sort of peters out and then fades away. And it's like, wow, nice guys. Still haven't figured out what they're doing with it yet.
No. And it's been a while now, hasn't it? I mean,
that's why I liked Kingsman so much when that hit the scene, because it was like, oh, it's a Bond movie. This is what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it has fun with it, but it's it's quite a interesting like little espionage thriller at the same time. It's obviously got comedy elements to it as well, but yeah, it's a fun movie. The second one not so much, but
yeah, we don't talk about that one.
On that note, I need to go get another drink.
Nice. I'll do one more super chat before we move on here. Hello, Bar. What combo do we need to see more of in media in our day and age? Dad and son, siblings, parents, strangers put into a situation, etc. So what in terms of like character connections to each other? I mean, call me biased. I guess it'd be nice to see more positive male role models in modern media, and like a good sort of father-son story would be nice to see. Because we don't really get much of that. I can't think of the last
good father-son story. Damn. I mean, I got a good parent one. Have any of you guys watched Paradise, that new show?
Yeah.
On Hulu?
Yeah.
Very fucking good show. And main lead, strong black male father, like actual strong black male father, like not demeaned in any way. And he's never like belittled or nothing like that. He cares about his wife and his kids. And he's very good character. Very good character. You should watch that. But I can't think of any other like recent things where it's like good parents or father-son dynamic stuff.
I might be able to help you out. Oh, sorry, I'll let you go on more.
Well, just to be really quick, because I was seeing some clips that ended up in my feed of Pirates of the Caribbean again, and I was like, I really got to rewatch them. But also, I was thinking about The Mummy, and I was just like, dude, I could go for the word that's coming to mind right now. For if you like, you can just choose a good film's going to come out, and you can choose what it's going to be. I'd be like, can we get something like swashbuckling, adventure-y type fun, where you know what I mean, like the connection between those two films of it's action adventure, but in a really wacky series of environments, and the characters are really out there, and everything's just. I hesitate to use the word fun. Obviously, I want all of all to be fun, but. I don't know. It feels like we don't get many of them, or maybe they're just not as good. I don't know.
They're just not as good. That's the thing. Like I'm pretty sure there's some that come out because I'm pretty sure somebody's going to go Uncharted, and it's like, no, we're not talking about that kind of swashbuckling adventure film. Like, yeah. So,
I was going to talk to you a little bit because when you mentioned, parental connections and stuff, it kind of brings me neatly along to our next topic I was going to talk about, which was Pragmata, the new game from Capcom, which tells the story of what would you even describe him as? He's like a kind of soldier slash astronaut who gets stranded on a lunar base with a young girl who happens to be a robot, as we find out later, and forms a kind of father-daughter bond with her over the course of the game as they work together to try and escape from this place and get to safety. And it's quite a charming little story. It's pretty wholesome, and it's a game that plays upon the player's desire to protect and almost be that kind of surrogate father figure for someone who's vulnerable and needs help. Which seems like a nice enough idea in my book. Seems all right, but not so much for the modern audience, it would seem. I'm gonna see if I can bring up this article from Kotaku here because it's just I have to show it to you.
Everybody's favorite gaming website, man.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. I need everyone to start being normal about Pragmata. That would be good. But yeah, I feel like Kotaku is not the people to give us this hint. Let's see. The first time I played Pragmata was at Summer Game Fest 2025. After the demo, a colleague came up and asked me what my reading was of Diana, the android made to look like a young girl. We'd only gotten to play around 30 minutes of the game, so I was honest and told her I didn't have much of an impression yet. Then, like a baseball bat to my gut, she told me she was worried the character might be PDF file bait. As we talked about further, she told me she'd been asking folks at the event whether they saw her that way, and overwhelmingly, it seemed like the men were not seeing the same things the women were. It's funny how the women always seem to find problems in things, but okay. I didn't want to speak to Capcom's presumed intent, but the conversation was something I knew I would keep an eye on when the game finally launched. Last week, my review of the game went up here at Kotaku, and throughout my time with it, I stayed mindful of these reactions and genuinely interrogated whether I thought there was anything to them. Ultimately, I came away feeling Pragmata was pretty respectful to Diana in the final game. But the trouble with discussing topics like this is that the anticipation of something insidious is something more frightening than anything actually happening on screen. And regardless of whatever Capcom's intent was, Diana has unfortunately been subject to sexualization online. Capcom then, wittingly or not, stepped into a rake with the Twitch badge that some believed was a dog whistle referencing the PDF file meme. Even if it wasn't meant to be, it has been co-opted as such. And I just thought, this is why we can't have nice things.
This is like one of those things where it's like, why is this even the subject of discussion when it comes to the game? Like anybody with common sense looks at it and goes, oh, father-daughter story. Like if you watch any clip from the game, your first instinct is to go, oh, that's so cute. You know, like I want to protect the kid. If you're
like nobody else went there, why did you? Is kind of
if that's your first thought process, you have to do some reevaluating, bro. Like you need to go in the mirror, go talk to a therapist or something. If that's your first thought, not parental instincts. Like that's so weird. And maybe it's because a lot of these people don't have kids. You know, if you have kids, you look at things differently. But I don't know. I don't even know. Even if I didn't have kids, I would look at this game and go, well, look at the little girl. Like, that's fucking weird, bro. Like, who does that?
It's just like there's always got to be someone who just like spoils a nice thing, like a wholesome thing that's like, because apparently like people are playing this game and like young people are playing it and like, you know, they're seeing Diana and they're like, oh, this kid's really cute and stuff, and they're almost thinking like, I want to have a family like that one day. You know, I want to have little kids because actually it makes you feel really good and it's fulfilling, and maybe there's something more to life than just like, you know, drinking or partying or getting like all those likes on social media. And there always has to be someone who comes along and spoils the fun and says, oh, well, actually, this is a dog whistle for X, Y, and Z disgusting thing. Of course they do, because it's like they have to ruin it for people.
Well, historically, though, they've actually increased the fun, given that every time these mad, insane people decide to lead some hysterical boycott of a game, it tends to increase sales of the game. It did it with Hogwarts Legacy. It did it for Stellar Blade. I don't know if it's done it for this, but I know Pragmata is selling very, very well. Most people, I almost like begrudge giving them any attention. These are just like incredibly sad, usually the female equivalent of an incel, and they live exclusively online. And they do it for social status amongst their group of very neurotic peers. They just take the most extreme moralistic position so they can say, look how moral and good I am and how evil the rest of the world is. Meanwhile, the rest of the world looks at a wholesome story about a father and a surrogate kid trying to protect her and says, that looks like something I can get on board with, so I think I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you guys remember when games and films came out? People used to talk about like the story and the mechanics. That was a thing that used to happen. I know it's a long time ago now, but it's just we're
not allowed to do that anymore.
Because I was like, oh, new game, people are saying it's good, I'll check it out, play it. Then it's like, so what are people saying about it? And it's just like, oh, okay, never mind, I'm out.
Because there was one comment about this that was doing the rounds. It was from Pop Culture Crisis, a contributor called Mary Morgan. So forgive me, it's slightly long. It's 2 paragraphs here, but I'll try and get through it as quickly as I can, and then you can give your thoughts. Quote, childless men do not have the same paternal instincts that childless women have maternal instincts. We observe this even when the way that little girls play versus little boys. Men first experience paternal instincts once they have their own children, and typically those instincts are only ever felt for their own children and no one else's. Men are not nurturers. Men don't gush over cute kids in public. Men don't have baby fever. If a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than it being a product of his own lineage, he is likely a predator. And you'd be taking the feminist, radical gender absolutionist position to protest any of the above points. This should explain why a dad simulator game marketed to mostly childless men gives people the creeps. I love it when millennial women pretend to be experts in male psychology. It's just great.
But it's absurd on its face. And then Tim Pool came out, because I think she works for him, and said, I think people are just taking her point to some extreme position. It's like, no, the tweet took itself to that extremely retarded position. And you shouldn't be defending that. It's obvious horseshit. It got community noted, deservedly so. But most normal people, if they have like an inkling or a suspicion, or like they think, I wonder if this is how the world works, they go and just, take a look and see if actually reality bears out the thoughts in their head. But for some reason, some people decide, no, I'm not going to back up my position. I have this thought and this feeling, and now I'm going to just act as though it's absolutely and unquestionably true. And then I'm going to publish it for the world, and then I'm going to get ridiculed, and then somehow the ridicule is going to prove my point. These people suck. They're horrible, and they shouldn't be listened to on any subject ever.
It comes down to
dumb take.
Yeah.
It's just like there's no code, there's nothing about that take that goes, oh, maybe she has a point. All of it sounds like you have not only an issue with men, but you probably have some father issues. If that's your consensus on, all men don't have, nurturing instincts for children. I'm sorry, who protects people? It's men. So I'm not understanding where she's even getting this idea from.
Because I think what she's in her own retarded way trying to drive at is that it manifests slightly differently in that men's instincts is generally to protect, whereas women's instincts might be to nurture. But like protection is what you do in this game.
Yes.
You have to protect Diana from danger. You have to protect yourself from danger in order to get out of the environment. And that gels perfectly with the male instinct to protect people who are weak or vulnerable or whatever. And marries it up with like a challenging action adventure game. Well, that's perfect. Like those are not bad things, and it's not it's not a bad setup for a man to want to protect other people, and to celebrate that in media. We used to do that quite a bit, but in recent years, that's not fashionable anymore, and it's become fashionable to deconstruct that and almost mock it for being antiquated and no longer useful. But as the saying goes, when the shit hits the fan, nobody in their right mind looks to a fucking feminist to fix it for them. So, I'm just saying.
That's also a good point, though, because we have The Last of Us that came out, like a decade ago. Nobody was going, oh, you're looking at Ellie as some kind of like child bait or whatever. Somebody just said it. God of War is quite literally like 2018 God of War. It's quite literally the father-son dynamic. And it's like everybody that's a man that plays that game is like, yeah, he's a father. He's trying to lead his son the right path and stuff like that. Nobody's going, oh, why are you looking at Atreus? And you're like, you want to protect him, or are you in a closet or something? Like, people don't say things like that. So, and the only reason in my mind is why they're doing it for Pragmata is because it's Japanese. Like that, to me, that's the only reason that I can see why they're doing it like that, because you have a multitude of other games that have come out. Somebody else, fucking BioShock. You have the big daddies that are protecting, the girls throughout the whole game in that as well. It's because it's Japanese and they see the little girl and their first thought is thinking about, anime, hentai, whatever. Instead of the story that's being told, they're thinking of the negative, because when they think of Japan, and I'm talking about like the feminists and the people that pretend to be leftists, they see them as like degenerates and like other people. Like they don't see them as the same as everyone else. And so when they see it coming from Japan, they're putting on the idea of, oh, that's what they're doing, when that's just not the case most of the time.
I think you're 100% right with the Japanese connection as well. Partly as well because when it comes to Japanese culture, they haven't dominated it in the same way that they have in gaming culture over in the West. They haven't injected their ideology into it to the same degree, and Japanese people generally reject that sort of thing. And so there's an inbuilt distrust and an inbuilt hatred of anything that comes from Japan, like that because it hasn't fallen under their influence yet, and so it becomes an objective that has to be defeated and conquered rather than just a piece of media to be enjoyed.
It can be a more generalized hysteria as well, because I wouldn't necessarily think of Tim Pool or anyone who works for Tim Pool as a representative of the left trying to impart leftist culture on Japan. I don't doubt that what you're describing is a part of it, but like that sort of hysteria is commonplace. You can kind of understand why. You look around the world and some of the biggest scandals at the moment are to do with adults doing things they really shouldn't be doing with children, and then the potential cover-up of that fact. And so there is as much, some of it hysteria and some of it grounded on the right to do with the Epstein stuff as you'll find on the left to do with whatever their equivalent of the Epstein stuff is. It's not like, I don't even want to really give it the credit of being a political thing. This is just neurosis and hysteria and people just mouthing off online for the captured audience, and then they get rewarded for having their batshit insane takes. I'm more interested though in like, is the game any good? Because I'll probably check it out. The last 2 times I checked out a game based on what online retards were saying, it was Hogwarts Legacy and Stellar Blade, and they were both kind of disappointing. So, like, is this one disappointing or is this good?
I mean, from a gameplay chance to play it yet. I'm about to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only a couple of hours in. So from a gameplay point of view, it's quite enjoyable. Like, there's a nice balance between combat and like a hacking mechanic that you have to do in the middle of battles in order to like really have any chance of taking down enemies, which I think balances out quite nicely. You've obviously got to like keep your eye on multiple things simultaneously. So there's the usual upgrade trees for like weapons and equipment, all that sort of thing. It seems to hang together pretty well. Story-wise, I don't know yet because I'm only, like I say, a couple of hours in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I've been curious about, what the story of this game actually is, because it's always presented like it's Dad Simulator, and I'm like, okay, well that's cool, but what else is there? Like,
I mean, if
I might have to check it out at this point because the right people are hating on it.
Going on general sentiment, it seems to be that the story is fairly straight up and simple.
Yeah.
Like, there's no big twists or crazy like developments or anything. It's just, you have to work together to get out of this place. That's pretty much it. And you can delve into the relationship more if you want to with optional conversations or not, and just plow ahead with the story or the campaign mode. It's up to you. That seems to be it. Doesn't need to be earth shattering. I just need it to be fun. That's all.
Yeah, I've been trying to stay away from the story spoilers and stuff because I want to play it, but I haven't heard anything bad about the game from people that I know that have played it. So
I think because it's difficult, isn't it? Because when things become like a social cause, it's hard to then separate like, well, what's the quality of it versus like what does it represent to you that you want to support? And movies and stuff can fall into that same category where it's like objectivity just kind of goes out the window. So it's something to be wary of with stuff like this that causes such a ruckus online. But yeah, I mean, I could say I played it for a few hours already. I've liked it so far. Yeah, probably worth your time.
That's probably the only conversation that needs to be had about the game is the actual gameplay and the story, and not your weird little fantasies about what you think people are doing on a video game character, because that's creepy, dude. I don't know why people are bringing that up.
Yeah.
Just as a general rule, whenever somebody refers to something as a dog whistle, I always assume that 8 times out of 10, it's going to be some weird thing that's in their head.
Yep.
So it's like
projection is a powerful tool.
I hear the dog whistle. Okay, so you're a dog. You are the dog in this situation. You heard it. Nobody else did.
Yeah. Let me see a couple of super chats that have come in about this. The damn game doesn't even have a story. It's just a shooter with puzzles and fighting. Nothing else to it. What the fuck is this? Am I going crazy? It's just silly, easy peasy shooter with puzzles and fighting. That's it. That's definitely the way to look at it.
I mean, I got bored because I didn't find the mechanics interesting enough, and the story is it's incredibly conventional. And like they're pretty explicit. There's not much to read into. It's which is fine, by the way. I said this like when I was streaming. I was just like, I just want to play something else. It's the least controversial thing ever to me. And then I go on the internet, and it's like, my God.
A lot of firefighters and EMTs are men. Yeah, funnily enough, they help a lot of children that aren't their own, and many of them are in the US, even volunteer. Yeah, it's that crazy thing that guys do where they protect people.
A guy would never have an instinct to want to protect the innocent in any way, shape, or form. Certainly not children. That would never happen. There's no examples of that in history ever, in any way.
I mean, we see it.
Nefarious motives with those kids. He's trying to save them for a reason.
Yeah. Well, we see it in gaming here. Last of Us, the new God of War, Death Stranding. They're all dad sim genres. It's been around for a while. Why did Pragmata set off the weirdo media? They get triggered every so often, man. I don't know.
Lone Wolf and Cub is a story archetype. And there are so many of these. They are popular and they've been around for ages for a reason. They're popular because they resonate with lots of people. Most of them are men. It's not that complicated. Am I right in thinking the tweet that set it all off was someone saying, it was the tweet saying, oh, the game is now like reversing decades of anti-natalist propaganda. So I think that was the tweet I saw first that then everyone else was responding to. So it's almost like the conversation was like, it was never really about the game. Someone said the game represents like pro-natalist propaganda, but said that as a good thing. And then that moves the entire conversation into the realm of fucking cultural infighting nonsense where people argue about other people having kids or not. And then it just spirals from there.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds about right, to be fair. Yeah, the same people who find Pragmata problematic praise cuties and hated Sound of Freedom. I mean, that's fucking accurate, by the way.
I believe we actually did go through a year of people praising that disgusting fucking movie.
Well, yeah. It's never gonna watch it in my life, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Dude, when that's one of the best examples when someone's like, have you even seen it? And it's like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, here we go. Change the subject. Would your ideal Spider-Man film reuse previous villains or use the ones that we've not seen before? I love a mix of Venom, Molten Man, and Hobgoblin, etc.
I say newer. I would do some villains that haven't been put to the screen before. That I think that would be more fresh. Like I know they were going to do Vulture in Spider-Man 4, which is why I like Homecoming. It's like, oh, they're doing Vulture finally. That's cool. Like, they should start doing stuff like that with more of his Rose Gallery, because he has a pretty good Rose Gallery.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Excuse me, I'm watching Past Open Bars. You madman, you. In Useless Facts for 155, Rowan Atkinson, who was born in 55, came up. Muller mentioned wanting to see how he does in a serious role. Check out Maigret. He plays everything dead and serious, and it's magical. There you go, Muller.
All right, yeah. I should
helping you out there.
Get around it, yeah, sure.
Rowan Atkinson really born in 1955, so he's what, 71 now?
Yeah. I was kind of hoping he would just stay looking like Blackadder, Mr. Bean forever, never ever
He kind of has, though. Like, if he dyed his hair black again, he would basically look the same. He has aged pretty well. I will say that for him. Yeah. Anyway, tell you what, we talked about this earlier, right? So the teaser for Clayface came out, and it looks actually pretty good. I don't know. Like, perhaps we could take a look at it here. And maybe you guys can share your thoughts on it. Let me bring it up here. I guess I'll have to keep pausing it because the usual things. So.
Yeah, we all know.
It opens very strong though with this. So, yeah, in this case, he is the Matt Hagen version of Clayface, right?
Yeah, they're doing the animated series version, it looks like, which has kind of become like a little bit of the default version of Clayface. So
yeah, and so he was an actor, like an aspiring actor or something, like up and coming, and he gets disfigured by like a crime lord, which we get to see here, obviously. And then he is given, I don't know how you describe it. Like he's given the ability to like completely reshape his face and his whole appearance after that.
Really awesome.
I'm trying to pause it on like the freaky bits.
I like the guy who made this trailer is like, I don't want to show you anything, too much, too fast. I want you to take it in as an experience. And you're like, no, I want to pause.
I want to see the melty face. There we go. Ah, missed it.
It's
Damn
too
it.
quick.
Almost had it.
It was like a fucking claw machine game.
Yeah, you got
There
it.
it is. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Very sick.
Yeah. There's a lot of body horror aspects to this one, which I think are pretty cool.
Yeah. That's always creepy out.
Oh yeah, because there it's like he was melting there. Yeah. So is it like he can control the movement of it, so he can form any sort of face that he wants, but like sometimes it'll get
Probably lose
disturbed,
control a
it'll
bit.
get like it'll lose control of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dir das bewusst?
That is that's pretty good. Yeah.
You gotta love trailers.
Teasers. I mean, it gives very little away in terms of plot and character and stuff, but like just visual wise, tone, it looks good. I must admit.
I think it looks pretty decent. You know, it's like, hey, body horror with Clayface. That's kind of like that's a perfect match right there. It's like, okay, that could be very cool. However, why is this the second movie in your universe? Or no, it'll be the third,
right? Yeah.
It'll be the third after Supergirl with Millie all cock and balls. So it's like, what are we? Why is this the third one that you're doing? It does look cool though. It's like that's cool. I just wish this came after Batman.
I mean, who's directing this one? So
I think it is a
James Watkins,
horror director. Does he not do horror?
Yeah, so he did Woman in Black, Speak No Evil, and Eden Lake. So yeah, he's quite well versed in horror. So I guess a good guy to be handling a movie like this. And yeah, like you say, I think this is a good standalone like horror movie. You know, it barely even qualifies as a superhero movie, I guess, because it looks much more about the horror aspects of it. I just don't really see how it fits into the DCU, and it's not going to be helped by the momentum of that. Because if you liked Superman and Supergirl, I don't know, like I don't think there's much for you in Clayface. This is a very
like
different
the
kind of
jump
movie.
From like Superman, you watch Superman, do you go and watch Peacemaker having like a gangbang? It's like, well, what are we? What's the connective tissue here? You know.
And that was dumb as hell. It's because James Gunn say, "Oh yeah, Peacemaker is going to be integral to setting up Man of Tomorrow." So like your family friendly G-rated Superman sequel is going to be set up by movies with TV shows or with cocaine orgies and Nazi worlds. Right, okay, yeah, I can't wait to get kids to watch that to get their lore back up. Clayface, I know nothing about the character. Like the only thing I know about the movie is this is their experiment with like what constitutes ultra low budget these days in Hollywood, because this is what $40 million budget, I think it is. So
I think it might be more
compared to
than 40. I know it's
40
less
or
than 100.
60, I think.
Oh no, actually, yeah. I mean, I'm just on like Wikipedia right now, but it says 40 million approximate. So maybe.
And so, what is it going to be like? Is it going to just try and be a standalone? And they hope that they've kept the costs so low that it's a profitable superhero movie and allows them to take risks on the connected stories, or are they going to try and connect it? In which case, how does it survive contact with James Gunn? Remains to be seen.
That's the thing that I'm worried about, because it's like if it's a standalone, like Joker was, it's like okay, that's fine, you know. But again, you're talking about building up a universe. And how you've been doing it, I don't understand how this was your thought process. So it's very just like wishy-washy kind of shit. Like again, I don't think it looks bad. I think it'd probably be decent, but it's just like I don't know why that's your first thought to go to. Hey, Superman, Peacemaker. Oh no, I'm sorry, Creature Commandos, because everybody forgot about that. Superman, Peacemaker, Supergirl, Clayface. What the fuck?
It would be like, it would be like if the MCU was started with Captain Marvel, the Eternals, and Ant-Man. Like that's how fucking random it is.
Yeah.
With this, like, there's no recognition there. Obviously, no one's going to really. Normies are not going to know who Clayface is, and I don't know if it's just hoping to stand on its own merits as just like a horror movie. In which case, yeah, that 40 million budget, it's going to have to make maybe 100 million to start turning a profit. It can do that conceivably. I don't see it making crazy amounts of money, but it'll probably not bomb either. It's just, what's the point? Like,
it is dropping during Halloween, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah. When is it going to get released here? Let's see. Yeah,
if it's
October.
Dropping, okay, so maybe that could give it a boost. You know, I don't see this being like one of those situations where it's like a Joker thing where people like are like, oh shit, I got to go watch Clayface. I think we're just kind of burnt out on that kind of stuff, man. I mean, hopefully it's good. I mean, I hope it is, but it's just like I don't see this moving the needle at all for real. And I don't see how this fits into your grand scheme of the DCU for real.
Yeah, Superman, Supergirl, Clayface. That's the most hilarious slate for a universe ever. When someone said, because I think I was talking about this on Real BBC, it's like, hey, where's Batman? It's like, we can't offer you Batman, but we can offer you a Superman in the Clayface movie, maybe as a cameo. It's like, what? What are you talking about? You're like, we'll probably won't get that either. It's like, okay. So yeah, this stands as it has since we found out this was happening. I hope it's great. That would be cool. What the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah. That's just all it is. Like, that's cool. Why? It's just like, that's not what we're asking for.
We're all sitting here pretending like the DCU is even going to exist after this movie comes out. Like, that's basically it, isn't it? So there's Supergirl, there's this, and there's Man of Tomorrow, and probably James Gunn is done after that. I think realistically. And probably the DCU is done.
Take with a grain of salt, as per usual. It's just that I happened in this particular run of the fun times to have a possible insider, but it's relatively very, very trustworthy sort of information. But the recent thing that I was told is that, you know, it's Craig Gillespie is the director of Supergirl, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's just notions about test screenings, and apparently his tested poorly enough that James Gunn was panicking, and so did his own cut. And recently, according to this source, they tested his, and it came out with even lower scores than. and so he's even more like, "What the fuck are we? What's gonna happen?" You know, and it's just so funny because it's like, "Oh no, the Supergirl movie isn't testing well." It's like, dude, even if it was a great film, this was a stupid decision. But I guess we might be in for a bit of a tornado with this in a funny way.
It's gonna be hilarious, man. Because it's like when you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, that's gonna do the Marvel's numbers. Like that's not gonna do well at all. And it's like, I'm not looking forward to Supergirl. Are you kidding me? People barely went and saw Superman.
I originally thought maybe 400 million would be reasonable for it. If Superman's made 600, Supergirl could do 400. I think I was being wildly optimistic, and I think maybe you're
been
probably
yelling
closer to the reality. It's like
40% have been saved for ages now, which would be what, 250 million cap basically.
Yeah,
just about. That movie is fucked. Like it's not like there's no reality where Supergirl comes out and it's like, yo, this is one of the best. Even if it is a good movie, people aren't going to watch Supergirl, dude. Like, let's be serious here.
I mean,
like an early
sort
2000s
expected
superhero
it to have less interest than Superman, but be better written because it isn't written by James Gunn. But then James Gunn is more and more involved the more I hear about it. And now, like, the movie's coming out soon, right? It's in a month.
June.
June.
Yeah.
And the only thing I've heard about it recently is Millie Alcock turning into a pod person and going all, you know, oh, people don't like seeing women in franchise movies. And it's like, that's bad publicity for your film. If that's, especially if it's the only publicity for your film, it's doesn't bode well. It's the kind of thing you say if you expect to be attacked for a shit film, in fact. So I can't see this performing anything like where it needs to.
I'm willing to be surprised, you know, if I go in this movie and come out and it's like, you know what, the Supergirl movie was really good. It won't even fucking matter because people will be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's go watch Toy Story. Like,
it's gonna need some amazing buzz if I'm gonna look at it on anything but a bootleg.
Yeah.
Me and my boy Jack Sparrow are gonna watch it.
Yeah, so you've essentially got how do I even define what DCU is at this point? So Supergirl, which is probably going to do 200 to 300 million if they're lucky, so it's going to flop massively. You got Clayface, which will probably turn a profit, but no one's going to fucking care because it's a small movie and it's a horror movie, so whatever. That's fine. Man of Tomorrow, if it's anything like Superman, which is probably going to do worse than Superman, actually, because nobody was impressed by that, and it's just a follow-up. That's probably going to do more like 400 or 500 million. That's it with your DCU. Then you've got, outside of it, what? Batman 2, which is probably going to come along at some point within the next 50 years. That's it. That's not great.
It's not a good lineup. You're forgetting Lanterns with doo-doo brown costumes. So
a TV show.
Yeah,
I mean, I've said this before, right? But like, it's so obvious. I shouldn't even have to say it, but apparently James Gunn needs to hear it. If you're going to reestablish the DCU, you want to start with your heavy hitters, right? So you get your Superman movie out, which you did, but you actually make a good version. You get a Batman movie out, and you get a Wonder Woman movie out. Okay, those are the ones that people care about. Then you get a team-up movie. You get your Justice League. That's your big, Avengers style event that people are going to get excited about. Then with your second phase, you start introducing all these subsidiary characters. That's when you do your Clayface. That's when you do like your creature commandos and whatever other weird stuff you want to do, while also having continued adventures with your core characters. But it's like, man, he's determined to do the most obscure stuff first. Because
I said it before, he's moving with the DCU like late stage MCU. Like he can afford to do that. And you can't afford to do that right now. Like you just had a failed cinematic universe with like 3 movies that came out back to back that nobody liked and were dog shit. So it's like you have to come back with like a bang, and you're like, hey, Creature Commandos. Brother, what? Like, who said that was a good idea? Supergirl, Superman, that's a group film and not just about Superman. It's like, for fuck's sake, brother. Like, it's not that hard to figure out. They already did this in the early 2000s with the Justice League show and the Superman show and the Batman show from the 90s. It's not that hard to do. Just do it.
The DC on film is going to be studied by like business ecologies and stuff in years to come, as like this is a prime example of how you don't manage an IP. Like from Zack Snyder to all of the insane stuff that followed him, to like The Rock trying to take it over, to then James Gunn launching his version of it, and just every time fumbling these easy layups that like should be wins for them. These guys have some of the best superhero characters that have ever been created, and man, they just fuck it up time after time.
At least I see what Snyder was trying to do. It's just that he kind of got forced into doing Justice League, which is basically like doing the Avengers, but not having the decade of building everything up to it. So, like, there's no way that that's going to work very well.
No, for sure. It would be hilarious if they brought Snyder back, like the Paramount merger. Like James Gunn's out, Zack Snyder's in.
Yeah, let's just do that all over again.
You just got Henry Cavill somewhere being like, does that mean I'm Superman again?
Fuck, man. That's terrible.
Wild, man. Well, let me see. Hulk Hogan says, thanks, Drinker and crew, for being a voice of reason among the insanity of modern propaganda. Thanks, folks. Regular folks were suppressed for too long, and it's nice the pendulum has finally swung back to some kind of normality. It is kind of nice. I could do with it swinging a little bit further, but we'll see.
A little bit.
Yeah, I would like a little bit more. I would like more TV shows that are just TV shows and not 8-hour episode movies. That'd be great.
Let's see. Oh, Mo, this is one for you. In 1406, the Welsh invented bagpipes by blowing into a sheep's intestine. The Scottish improved on this design by removing the intestine first.
That's a real BBC as
well. That's pretty good. Clayface looks kind of fun, but I've been excited for something I've been waiting 3 years for. I'd like to know how the table feels about Coyote versus Acme. You guys seen the trailer for that?
I have not.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
I mean, it looks fine, I guess. Like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to take from it, to be honest.
Yeah, I just
It's-
want to watch it for principle's sake because they were trying to get rid of it. So I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. You know, I like that Acme stuff. That's cool. I'll watch it. John Cena's in it.
Of course he is. He's in a lot of things these days. Feral Historian's video is what got me to watch Buckaroo Banzai. I also loved the vid about the failed iRobot script. Also enjoyed Starship Troopers.
All the classics.
Nice. Rather watch The Flash or Superman's James Gunn? I'd rather watch The Flash, I think.
I don't know,
think-
dude. I think I'd
Which
rather
Flash
watch
are we
Superman
talking
movie.
about?
The more recent one, the Ezra
Yeah.
Miller one,
Oh,
which
oh,
I think it entertained me more. It was just,
Yeah.
it was very funny in
Yeah.
all the bad ways.
It was goofy and silly and too long, but it did have some little moments of actual emotion in it where I was like, yeah, okay, I can get this. James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn never did any of that for me. There was never a single moment where I was like emotionally invested in it.
Yeah, it was adequate all the way through, but it never really got above that baseline of this isn't a complete steaming pile of dog shit.
Oh, Superman was a complete steaming pile of dog. Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Johnny Axe Handle says, regarding superhero stuff, I started watching Invincible. Now I'm convinced that superhero fatigue doesn't exist. Marvel and DC just suck now.
Invincible's pretty good, man. It's a
Yeah.
pretty good show.
I'm only on season 2 at the moment, but like season 4
What?
now they're at, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you got to catch
So-
up. Season 2 is the weakest.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
thinking.
I
Yeah,
mean-
I didn't make it through season 2. I kind of bailed on it a couple
Yeah,
episodes.
you gotta get past it. Season 2 is by far the weakest. And then when you get to
Right.
season 3, it's like, wow, okay, this is more in season 1. And then season 4 has been pretty decent as well. I still think the first season was the best, but it's a good show. It's a good show.
Yeah.
You got to get over the once you notice the moving PNG bullshit that they're doing, it kind of ruins it. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
It kind of ruins it. But it's a
The
good show
animation's
overall.
definitely old school, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
season 1 was superb,
Yeah.
man. Like, yeah, Omni-Man is just awesome.
It's
I love it. I love how
amazing.
they got J.K. Simmons to voice him as well.
Does a great job, man.
Yeah, what's this one? When John Boyega nicks himself shaving, he accuses the razor company of racism. I mean, he has had quite the ride with like Disney and stuff. Like 1 minute he's good buddies with them, the next they're all racist because they minimize them on posters and stuff. Like, I don't know. I wish he would just pick a consistent line, man.
Yeah, he's
Feels like
trying
he's just-
anything at this point.
Yeah, he just wants to be noticed, it feels like. And the thing is, people are on his side generally. Like, I do think Finn was done dirty in
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
sequel trilogy. They clearly did shrink him on the poster for like China and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'm 100% behind you. You got done dirty on this one, man. But like, if you also act like a complete dick about all this stuff and everything else, it's hard to get behind you, you know?
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. Yeah. Bond is my book purist franchise. Give me a slow burn, grounded period piece with Henry Cavill as Bond and Charles Dance as M, and I'm there.
Damn.
That
would
does sound
watch
quite good.
Yeah,
On
I
paper,
would-
that sounds amazing, actually.
I
Might
would
be
watch
too
that
old
twice
now.
back to back.
But yeah, fuck it. do
It's
it.
so good they'll never do it. Yeah. Avarice, hot take. I think Invincible is only highly rated due to having A-class actors doing the voices. The plot is meh and the pacing is bad. Pacing standards have crashed. We used to get 20 episodes, seasons. I mean, look, pacing wasn't the issue with Invincible for me. With season 2, it's more like some of the characters are not that likable. But yeah, guys like Omni-Man, Invincible himself. Who's the character that Walton Goggins plays again?
Cecil.
Cecil, yeah. Those guys are great. So, like, whenever they're on screen, I am happy generally.
I think it would be better if they spent less money on voice actors and more money on animation. It would be a better show, obviously, but it's not poorly paced. But that second season is pretty poorly paced. So, but season 3 is like where it's like it picks back up again, and then season 4 it just continues that high. So,
Do you think they were going through like an old school like cell animation style for it? Is that what they wanted?
Well, no, I think well what they said was because they had a different animation studio doing it for the first
Right.
season, but it took a few years to get that season done. So they wanted to make it quicker. So now they have an in-house studio, and obviously you can see the lack of animation compared to the first season. So you have the trade-off there where it's like, oh, you're getting more seasons per year, which is something that we used to get a lot, but you know, the animation is starting to lack.
Right.
But the voice actors do good. Like the what's her name who plays Debbie? She was like from that hospital show. I'm forgetting her
hold
name.
on. Let me find.
She is amazing in the show. Like she actually makes the character from the comic way better. Because in the comic she's okay, but in the show she makes Debbie a way better character. Sandra.
Oh,
Yep, there it
Sandra.
is.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yes.
it.
Right.
She does great in the show. And obviously, Glenn fucking drawing blank on his name, but yeah, he does great as Invincible.
Oh,
So,
Stephen Yeun.
yeah, he does great too. So it gets kind of iffy when you start hearing Seth Rogen talk. It's like, fuck, can you please shut up? Like, I don't like hearing Seth Rogen. But it's pretty good.
Seth Rogen is up there with like Pedro Pascal and fucking Mark Ruffalo as like people
Yeah,
like they just put me right off of production.
I just do not like Seth Rogen, dude. Especially his stupid little fucking voice. It irritates me, dude. Like,
because he does have quite a distinctive voice and a distinctive laugh, and like the moment you hear it, it's like, oh fuck. Here
he's
goes.
in a lot of season 4 though. Like I think he's in almost every episode. So
I agree with Little Platoon. Moon landing deniers shouldn't be allowed to vote.
True.
I second that. Yeah.
You know what I
Get behind that.
I deny that we landed on the Earth.
Things that we are
really
still
ball.
flying through space.
we got to get through the ice wall, dude. Did you not know, man? We're stuck.
Why they're flat earthers but no flat mooners?
That is true. Yeah. It's so funny when they still try to offer explanations for like, well, you know, it's disc shaped, so you know that's why it looks like that.
That's a good question. Why? I don't think there's any flat mooners. Like the moon is flat. Like,
and the moon is fake.
I heard the hollow moon. I heard that one. But not the flat one.
Halfway through the final season of The Boys, and it gives me Game of Thrones season 8 vibes. I think Kripke quietly quit on his own show. I've heard nothing great about season 5.
If you thought season 4 was bad, season 5 is about the same.
I quit season 3, and I've never regretted that decision.
Yeah, I too bailed on 3.
Bailed on 2.
Stop that.
Abominable.
2 was where I was like, yeah, it's clearly going downhill. 3, they kind of trick you with Jensen Ankles as a soldier boy. It's like, okay, it looks like it might be picking back up, and then you get to season 4. It's like, holy fuck, like you have just lost it. And then season 5, that first episode, I quit. I'm not watching it anymore. Like I can't do it. Like I know they have TDS like through the wazoo, but it's like in the first 5 minutes, the amount of social political stuff that they say. In 5 minutes, I was like, yeah, dude, I can't do this. I can't do it.
I've always been like that, especially in recent years with TV shows, with movies. Like once you feel like the hand of the creator on it, and you just feel like, right, I'm just experiencing all of their hang-ups and like frustrations and insecurities. Like it takes me right out of it. Like I'm not then enjoying a story. I'm not enjoying a piece of art. I'm just hearing their thoughts projected onto the screen. And it's like, I don't need that. I don't care what your political opinions are. I don't care about your like fucking hang-ups about modern day America are. I just want to enjoy a good bit of entertainment. And I can't do that now because you're ruining it for everyone. And that's what it comes down to. Like, that's part of the reason I tuned out, partly as well. I was just done with like the gross out humor.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like how degenerate can we make it? And also it felt like so many characters were just like in a holding pattern. Like, what's Homelander going to do next? They've got dirt on him. They've got him under control. Oh, but now he's gone crazy again because he's realized he's more powerful than everyone else. And it's just the same shit over and over again. And it's like, I just felt like that show was going like The Walking Dead. It was just leading nowhere. So
I've realized that when because I was like, I'm gonna make a video on it, and as I'm writing, I'm like, there's really been no progression with any character besides Butcher, and then even his character has kind of regressed into what he was at the beginning. Like Huey's still like a little pussy boy. Mother's Milk, he's on Ozempic now. Like, okay, that's fine.
He looks really ill now, doesn't he?
Yeah, dude, and let's not even get started on Starlight and her face and her character. It's like there's not much progressing in the show. It's just like, oh, let's make fun of Trump and that's it. Let's make dick jokes. There's a lot of dick jokes this season. Like it's absolutely disgusting. Like there's like gross humor, and then there's doing too much toilet humor. Like it's just like, ew, dude, I can't do this.
I think that what makes me laugh is the people who still to this day try to claim like, oh, the show is like fair. It makes fun of both sides. And it's like, nah, man, look, if you just want to get that little dopamine hit of seeing like your bad guy in your head, a straw man version of him just getting like humiliated and defeated over and over again, great, go for it. I don't mind. That's for you. But like, don't for 1 second try to con anyone else into thinking this show is like politically neutral. I think Ryan Kinnell summed it up best. If you take a water pistol to one side and a fucking rocket launcher to the other, you're not fair and balanced, right? You clearly have a side that you've picked. That's fine. Just don't try to pretend otherwise. No one's buying it, man.
Yeah, and they don't even do it in a nuanced way. Like at least the first season was more nuanced with it, even though you could tell there was a clear like side they were on. At least they wrote it in a more ingrained way in the story where it's not heavy-handed. Now it's just heavy-handed.
By the way, hot take, but I care less about taking one side and not the other if you're just not funny at all anyway. Interesting. Like, what do it drives me nuts. I've talked about this before, but there are people on Twitter that will like a show or a movie or whatever just because it agrees with them. It's not particularly intelligent or incisive or funny. They're just like, yeah, but it agrees with me. And you're like, okay.
Well, I think that's what it comes down to for a lot of people. It's like, well, it affirms my beliefs, and it gives me that little hit of like, you know, the bad guys that I hate get defeated. So it's good in my opinion. Like, why is it good?
A miserable way to look at things, dude. Like, it dates your show as well. Like, it dates it.
Oh yeah, like all the references are stale by the time they make it into the show, and then they believe it's some, you know, I guess, brilliant satire of people they don't like, and that's because they're just incredibly stupid and they don't see that what it's most effective at is parodying themselves. Like, that's the reason people, I think to this day, still ironically will enjoy Homelander, is because the creators of the show don't realize they are so annoying that people will support anyone, even just for irony and meme sake. They will support anyone who the creators of the show hates. You tell me to hate Homelander? Fine, gonna back him up now, because fuck it, laser the face off of some protesters. Why not? I don't actually want this to happen, but you're just an idiot. So, and I know it annoys you, so I'm going to like him now.
Well, isn't that the same deal with like Rorschach from Watchmen? Whereas like people like him now, and Alan Moore has just been driven fucking insane by it. He's like, no, you're supposed to hate him. He's a symbol of like right-wing fascism. And everyone's like, yeah, he's kind of cool. And he stands by his beliefs. And
that's exactly it.
On anything.
Rorschach is the only one that adheres to his principles all the way through that story.
Yeah, and it's almost like, I don't know, he's giving himself away by like having the one character who's actually principled and like stands by what he believes in and is morally incorruptible. And Moore wants you to hate him. It's like, well, I feel like, Alan, that tells us a lot more about you than it does about him.
I think the cat is angry that Drinker referred to Rorschach as Rorschach.
I said Rorschach.
Your first time, that killed me. Okay, Rorschach.
Look, I'm Scottish and I'll pronounce it how I want. Okay. Still struggling with basic English over here. But my point still stands.
It's like the John Walker effect, you know? It's like, oh, we want you to hate this guy. And then you watch it, it's like, what? Wait a minute. He's kind of doing something good. Even though Homelander is like, nah, we know he's bad, but Anthony Starr is just too good. Too good of an
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to be not tainted by this, but like there's going to be a degree of typecasting now for him where it's like you're so insanely identified with Homelander. Where can we, like, what can we do with you now?
I hope not, because I saw him first on Banshee.
Yes. Yeah, everyone references Banshee, but then like
Yeah.
this has overridden that now in the public consciousness. I think everyone
Yeah,
just
true.
thinks of this when they think of him.
So,
and even
I
like,
hope not.
yeah,
He's really good.
yeah, well, now everyone's like, he should play Albert Wesker if they do a Resident Evil movie that has him in it. And it's like, well, they're not going to do that because Zach Cregger's movie's got nothing to do with Resident Evil, and it'll be like 5 years before they can do another one. And Anthony Starr is already like 50 years old. But it's a nice thought. It would have been cool like 10 years ago. That would have been awesome. Well, it is what it is, I guess. The last thing I was going to show you guys or talk about was The Savants. Right.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yes!
The TV show that we were all excited for last year and then got brutally taken away from us. Jessica Chastain stars as a middle-aged Karen who polices speech online and hunts for extremists. I think she hunts for extremists by letting one of them bang her. And then deciding later that she's
Women.
she doesn't like him. I mean, like, I think that's where it goes. Like she has to go so far undercover with this guy that she ends up letting him bang her. But you know, she still hates him because he's a right-wing extremist, because they're definitely the ones staging terrorist attacks in America these days.
Yeah, it's not like all the conspiracy theories weren't actually theories, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I've got what has it got here? Let's see. Oh, apologies. The article is not loaded. Yeah. Basically, The Savant was supposed to come out late last year, but it was shelved in the wake of, well, real life events when Charlie Kirk got assassinated. But it is apparently coming back. The highly anticipated, that's a bit of a stretch, but
I'm sure somebody is looking forward to it.
I am desperately looking forward to this
Yeah.
show. Okay.
reviewers, I think, are quite excited for it.
Oh, it's gonna be content gold, dude. Can't wait.
The Apple TV thriller series that was pulled from the streamer's release schedule last year is now back on track. It stars Jessica Chastain and is based on a cosmopolitan profile, so you know it must be fucking quality, of an anonymous American Defamation League sleuth who infiltrates online hate groups to try to prevent public attacks. Was abruptly shelved 3 days before it was due to drop in September 2025. Apple gave no reason for the delay, but they didn't have to because it was just after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It included a sniper in action and the bombing of a government building, among other acts of violence. Kind of makes sense. She indicated to Variety this week that The Savant is now heading for its release, saying, before it was like, I don't know if we're going to see it, but now I can say we're going to see it. Truly insightful stuff. It's going to reportedly stream in July. What was saying? Yeah. Jessica Chastain wrote on Instagram when the show was originally shelved that she was not aligned with Apple on the decision, which I guess makes sense.
So she's carrying her own studio, basically. She's already bitching. Yeah.
She says, in the last 5 years, we've been making the show. Fucking 5 years?
5 years?
To make this dog shit that everyone's going to take a dump on? We've seen an unfortunate amount of violence in the United States. Yeah. The kidnapping attempt on blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a million, like, bad things here.
Oh, was that the one that was 6 feds and 1 mentally disabled guy that got talked into things?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. The attack on Speaker Pelosi's husband, that was a bit of a weird one.
That was odd.
The assassination of Charlie Kirk, the recent shooting at an ABC affiliate station in California, and over 300 school shootings across this country. These incidents, though far from encompassing the full range of violence in the US, illustrate a broader mindset that crosses the spectrum of politics and must be confronted. I've never shied away from difficult subjects, and whilst I wish the show wasn't so relevant, unfortunately it is. It's just, again, it's kind of going down the same road as The Boys, I would imagine, where there is one specific group that is blamed for everything wrong in modern America, and it's Hollywood's perspective on what's wrong. And I don't think it's going to give you an accurate picture somehow. Call me crazy.
Probably not, no. I mean, but it's just laughable on its premise that you reel off that whole long list of, very real, severe, serious violence, and the show comes along and say, and all it takes is one woman reporting Facebook groups to stop it. I don't think that's how it works.
I honestly want I want to see her with like a box of cheap wine beside her while she's doing all this. And
I think it would just be a silo of wine with a tube that goes all through the house.
It's such like a tone deaf kind of like show to make. Like, there's no way after all the shows that have come out in the last 5 years, they're like, yeah, this is a good idea to do. But I'm with it. Please drop it. Please.
It should be funny. It's just indicative of this mindset, because the BBC did some kind of drama recently where the villain he'd been radicalized by sending freedom of information requests to the government, which is what all journalists do, about like the true figures for migration. And the BBC drama said this turned him into some kind of radical right-wing terrorist. And it's like, that, again, not how the world works. You're just telling me so much about how tiny your information silo is.
Yeah.
It's also annoying because Apple TV generally has very good shows on there.
They do.
So it's like you're gonna have all these great shows, Severance, For All Mankind, and all this shit, and then the Savant. It's like, come on, bro. You're tainting it, man.
I can only assume like getting someone like Jessica Chastain is relatively expensive. I mean, yeah, she's old as fuck now, and so not an A-lister, but like to get her for a TV show is probably quite expensive. And so they just don't want to lose all that investment money. But I would. If it were me, I would say, you know what? The winds have shifted culturally. This is not a good show to release now.
I would absolutely bury that thing.
Yeah, better just Batgirl that shit, get it out of there, and just let's pretend it never happened.
There's going to be a stain. On
Go
your
full Orwell with it and deny that it ever happened.
I think that's sometimes you got to do that with shows. Like sometimes you just have to know, like, okay, the time is just, it's not right for this, and we shouldn't have made it. It was a mistake.
To be clear, we don't want them to do that, because actually I want them to release all of this stuff. I want that Batgirl movie to come out. I think that could be really fun. But for their own self-preservation, they probably should think that, yes, read the room.
So, I mean, we wish it well. It's going to do well for YouTube, I imagine, for content. So,
it's going to be great, dude.
So, yeah, okay. Good luck
They
to you.
should use that whole meme template as well. It wasn't even out, and it was a meme template that was around for like 2-3 months, and it's just going to be on so many thumbnails when this finally releases, because it's just this perfect image that just like exactly what the show's probably going to be, and it is summed up in that image, and you can just add any text to it you like. It's great.
It's a perfect
show
image.
Just show me a middle-aged woman, a white woman policing online speech, and it's like, okay, I know exactly who this is going to appeal to.
It's like, all you have to do is put like a little speech bubble. Wait, so they're actually cheering on Homelander? Like, that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's that degree of like tone deafness, though, that like it's still impressive. Because you would honestly think like we've reached a point in this whole process of trying and failing with all kinds of shows like this that push these kind of politics, where they would just say, no, it's really not worth it financially to do this stuff. We should just stop. Like, this is so hackneyed. It's so silly at this point that we're actually just shooting ourselves in the foot by even trying this. Let's just try something else. But the fact that they're still going with it, it's almost admirable, that degree of determined retardation. It's impressive.
But sometimes it works as well. I mean, there is a large retarded audience constituency out there, which will sometimes latch on. Just as All's Fair, that horrific thing with that Kardashian creature, that did, I believe, really, really well. And obviously, like, not for our circles because it's horrific, but there's a lot of horrific people out there who genuinely enjoyed it. It was one of Hulu's most watched things ever. That did well. I think, is it Heated Rivalries, the gay hockey thing on HBO? Like, that's doing well from what I understand. Like, there is an audience for all this kind of stuff, and it might explain why they keep making it. Definitely not for us, but just reflective of the polarized state of the world.
I mean, the other one that I saw was a trailer, which I can't really do the sound for it because it's got like a licensed pop track on it. But the Sacha Baron Cohen show, Ladies First, which is coming out, and it's the whole thing seems to be predicated on, well, what if like men and women's roles were reversed, right? So if men were walking down the street, they're getting like propositioned by like female construction workers and stuff, or like touched up on trains and stuff. And I just thought, my God, you do not understand the male psyche at all. Like, that is heaven for most men. Like,
the horror. Oh no, she
I
wants
know.
to sleep with me. What?
What are you trying to demonstrate to us here? It's like, God damn.
Oh, you want to give me a job because you think I'm hot? Oh shit! Excuse me.
Yeah. It's like, how out of touch can you be? And I feel like we've had a decade of talking about this stuff, but somehow still they do not get it.
You ever wonder if the Earth exploded and we're all in hell? Like, I don't know.
I think what we are is in some kind of simulation, and it's just there to test the limits of our human endurance. Like, how much insanity can you cope with before you spaz out?
With every fucking event that happens these days, I always see a Truman Show meme, and it always shows Ed Harris being like, okay, now completely switch the story and make something else happen and see what they do. Like,
dude, one day we're just gonna wake up. It's gonna be 2016 again. It's like, oh shit, okay. It was all a bad dream.
Yeah.
A bad dream.
There was a time in our lives when things made sense, and I just I want to time travel back to then.
Like, the Savant is a real show that was greenlit. They spent millions of dollars on. They spent 5 years making it, and no one, like all the thousands of people this has gone through, has said maybe this is a bad idea. They just said no, let's keep going. Like, are they that retarded?
I think that's somehow the most damning thing you could say about this. Like, the Savant is a real show that real people made.
It's a real thing. Like, I can't believe this. And it's not a parody. Like,
no,
it's not a parody. Like, if it was a parody, I'm like, oh, okay, good job, you did it. But it's like, no, this is real. And they believe this.
I think that might have been a way to salvage it, by the way, if they just recut it slightly as a parody.
Minor little re-edits.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, we're just making fun of how out of touch Hollywood is and stuff. Like, okay, that works. We could have fun with that. Nah, this is dead serious, man. They believe in this shit.
Beautiful, man. Hey, there's gonna be a channel out there. They're gonna blow up from that show. I can't wait.
Yeah. Anyway, tell you what, how about I answer a few super chats right here before we finish up. So I'm going right back to the beginning for this one. So this is from Nico, who says, I've been replaying all the Resident Evil games to prepare for Requiem. When I heard about Pragmata, I went and bought it immediately after this event. Why is Capcom the only company that doesn't suck? This game and its story reminds me of my relationship with my cousins. I'll know I'll enjoy it. I mean, Capcom's been doing pretty well recently. I mean, say what you want about Resident Evil Requiem, but sold a shitload of copies, so
sure did.
They're doing all right.
Monster Hunter last year as well.
Yeah,
sold a lot. Y'all gonna hate me. I've never played Resident Evil.
Oh man, gotta get on it. You'll love it.
Never played it.
It's a lot of fun.
Only played the first one back when it was new.
Yeah. Well, tune in for Mauler and I's gaming streams because we'll be doing all of them together. No doubt the Savant has already identified and flagged all male Pragmata players.
Wait, they actually want to protect the little girl? Like,
Clayface teaser looks cool. I just wish it wasn't connected to the childish gunverse with shitty world building. I agree 100% on all of that, actually. Yeah. Would have done better standing alone. Hey, drink, malt, and guess. Hail chat and happy St. George's Day to you all. Yes. We should celebrate this before it becomes illegal here in the UK. So, yeah, happy St. George's Day. Cheers. Next up. Watched Fight Club 4K remaster in theaters last night. It was absolutely fucking kino. Should be mandatory viewing for every new screenwriter. Yeah, so they remastered it and re-released it.
I guess
Pretty cool.
so.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Should look that
I'll
up.
have to look for that.
Yeah.
Faber, so what qualities should a new sci-fi fantasy series have in order to become the next big IP? How should it be different from what we have seen before? I mean, I wish we all had that answer. Like, hey, here's what you do with your sci-fi show to make it the next massive thing that will make $1 billion. If we knew that,
Yes, I've been trying to
doing it
find
right
that.
now.
I do it myself.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it isn't about like trying to be. Actually, if you try to be different to what you've been before, then usually you end up failing. So I did a little second channel video on Project Hail Mary because that is a new sci-fi IP. It's done extremely well. It doesn't do that though by trying to be revolutionary. There's nothing that new in Project Hail Mary. What it does is it takes something that it knows works and plays with the structure, and then it presents the order of information differently, and it feels new because it's really telling you an old true thing in a new way. That's what you sort of. It's way more successful than trying to go out and say, I'm going to write the thing that no one's ever written before, because there's probably a reason for that.
Disregard says, I can't believe your co-host Mauler admitted on X to creating glue traps for 7-year-olds. Critical drinker, you truly are a griftly bear. Caught. Busted.
Our crimes just can't compare to those that accuse us, I suppose.
Yeah. That dude Darty says the Savant could have been an interesting thing if they bothered to do some actual research instead of putting their fantasies. Real life example, Julia Ebner did actual undercover work and understands the topic. Well, there you go. I'm not familiar with her myself, but apparently she was involved in this stuff. Starbug Smeg, hail to Drinker, Mauler, and panel. Wanted to make a shout out to Platoon. Awesome work for your Stranger Things Series 5 videos, especially with all of the YouTube issues. Top work, sir. And Ace Rimmer himself said that you did a good job, so pretty good.
It just reminded me that I haven't finished those yet. Shit. One more to go.
Hail Open Bar. Drinker, I'd love to see a video from you summarizing this glut of video game films coming. Backroom, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat 2, Elden Ring, Resident Evil, Bloodborne, etc., and which might be worth it. Well, I mean, yeah, I'll do them as they come up, really, and when I get a chance to watch them. I'm interested in seeing it. I think, as I've said before, as we move out of the superhero era, we might well be into the video game adaptation era, because the market there is enormous. We've seen that with things like the Mario movies, the Sonic movies. There is money to be made there. And when there is, Hollywood will do it. So, yeah, video games are going to be the thing going forward.
That's their next thing to ruin. So, can't wait.
The Savant should be reshot, so it turns out the Southern Poverty Law Center was funding the extremists. I saw that in the news. God damn. We will live in crazy times, I tell you. Hello, Drinker, Mauler, and guests. Do you know that the Royal Assassin series by Robin Hobb, given an adequate adaptation, it could easily rival Game of Thrones? Big emphasis on adequate adaptation. I'm not familiar. Platoon,
No.
You're my literary expert. Do you know it?
No, I've never heard of it. I will look it up.
All right. Otters sometimes put rocks on their chest as they lie in water for no reason whatsoever. I like real otters. Otters are awesome. Hashtag fake otters out.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, there's theories about what animal he might actually be. We've landed on tapeworm for now.
Reasonable. Anyone playing Mouse PI for Hire? It looks great.
Yes, almost done with it. Great.
Any good?
Great game. Pretty good game. Pretty funny too, with all the references and stuff.
Nice. Hail to the mighty Griftly Bears on the panel today. Have you plagiarized any videos or apologized lately? The EFAP on Utterly Noah was hilarious.
Well, if you thought it was hilarious, we're doing round 2, and it's so much worse. So much worse.
Are you going deeper down the rabbit hole?
I'll just say this. It's literally developing right now still. Like there's
thing
so
is,
much going on.
The thing is, right, I don't really care if he plagiarized other people's work or pressurized employees into like false flagging other channels. All I care about is, did he take me down?
I think he did.
Good.
I think he did.
Well done, Utterly Noah. It was
It's
all
a really
worth
good
it.
impression of his fans, actually. That is basically their entire line of reasoning.
Please bring Jester Bell on as a guest for Open Bar. Well, unfortunately, she does not do like live stream appearances
she
like
doesn't
that.
do it.
So I talked to her about it, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't do that kind of thing." So sadly, can't. Yeah, Moopler. Who would win? Dawn from Buffy, the Dawn from Captain Marvel, or Dawn Power Wash? I just got to ask for
the Dawn, but he wouldn't he would win by default, but he wouldn't like gloat about it. He'd just be like, "It's okay that you've lost to me. It's all right."
He would just expect to win. You know, it's just like what had to happen happened. The Imperial Brick says, if you have AIDS, go away now." We're anti-AIDS here, not anti-people with AIDS, just anti-AIDS. Yeah, Muller, loved your observation on EFAP of the problem with Apu being patient zero for the voice actor replacement controversy. It's such pish.
Absolute bullshit. Yeah, and it's sad too because you just basically wipe out a whole bunch of talented, awesome voices and characters because of this nonsense. It doesn't even make any sense in the first place. Like, because this came up because of the Last Airbender stuff that's happening with that new movie, and it's like, well, you got to get the culturally appropriate people. It's like, yes, of this fictional world.
Yeah.
Voice acting as well. It's like, it's a voice actor. It doesn't matter. Just do the job.
It's a really good just demonstration of the results of that purity spiral. Apu was a great character, but also like a great representative of the immigrant story. He's like everything that these people say that they want to see more stories about, but because you kick up that fuss, then you can't have the character who told the really good stories. So in the name of perfection, you've sacrificed something good. Fuck you.
Well, by the same token, it's like I do not have a problem with Hank Azaria voicing Groundskeeper Willie. You know, like I don't feel like I've been culturally appropriated there. I don't feel like I'm outraged by it. So
what you're saying is actually way more relevant than these people would ever realize, because Groundskeeper Willie is designed to be a ridiculous Scottish person, like stereotype, even down to his fucking design.
Well, all Scottish people are ridiculous. Okay.
What I guess I'm getting at is like you have the complete right by their rules to be completely insulted and outraged, but I assume you're more like I am or anyone else, where you just see that sort of thing, you go, yeah, that's funny. You're like,
Once Lady Doris, do you have any grease?
That grease me up, woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's never had an issue with it, but yeah, someone's always going to get offended somewhere, I guess. Glad to join this weekly council of approved clips. Damn right.
Do you remember when Homer says he's from Scotland and Willie's like, "Oh, I'm from Scotland. Where do you hail from?" He's like,
North Kiltown.
Kiltown. You know Angus MacLeod. And then Homer goes, "There's no Angus MacLeod in North Kiltown. Why, you're not from Scotland at all."
What's next? What are your thoughts on Assassin's Creed Black Flag resynced? Think it's worth the time and money of disgruntled Assassin's Creed fans? Yeah, have you guys
yes, as a
that?
major Assassin's Creed fan, I think the only issue I have with it so far is the spark bullshit when you parry. Like it looks very cartoony and it kind of takes away from everything, but it looks good. I can't believe I'm saying that because, you know, shadows, but yeah, it looks good.
Nice. Another one for me. What's your favorite character name of all time, film or series? Here is one for me: Blaze Falconberger from Red Dwarf season 3. For me, it's got to be Lord Flashheart from Blackadder. That's a superb name.
I actually don't know.
Just because it's on my mind, because The Simpsons, when Homer wants to ask Moe advice about something he's doing, but he creates a friend that's got the problem, and he goes, "My friend called Joey Joe Jr. Shabadoo." It's the worst name I've ever heard.
We remember when Homer changes his name to Max Power.
Yes, and everyone likes him more.
Yeah, and it's like he's trying to get monogrammed pajamas, and it's like he insists on having the entire name spelled out, and it's the clerk is like, "Well, traditionally monograms are just the initials," and he's like, "I want every letter."
Yeah.
So fucking stupid. Imagine the academic decathlon from Billy Madison to but Ottilie Noah, Grace Randolph, and Gunverse Lex Luthor are the contestants. Holy fucking shit.
Jeez.
Damn.
I mean, Lex Luthor would probably win by default because he's not retarded, but...
Well, it's the Gunverse Lex Luthor, so he is.
We can't sleep on Grace Randolph, okay? You can't
Yeah,
sleep
she'll get
on
him.
her.
She could be the dark horse of this one. She's actually like this evil genius.
She's a turtle in the race, dude. You know, slow but steady.
Yeah. Trigger plans to stream Mouse PI. If not, please do. I mean, I've already got my hands full. I'm doing the Resident Evil stuff with Mauler. I'm doing the Pragmata stuff. So I've got enough things to stream right now, sadly. What's this? Valid has boogie meme level legs, Mauler. What's that a reference to? Valid.
So when we were covering this Ottilie Noah guy in the stream, basically people would say, did you maybe not like this video and that's why you took it down, or did they be like, did you have something to do with the copyright? Did you? And almost every time he's like getting broken down into saying like, oh, maybe, yeah, and eventually they would show like examples of proof. And he would just start going, that's valid. That's valid. Yeah, I'll take the L on that. That's valid. And it got so absurd. I'm obviously exaggerating, but it felt like if someone said, so did you kill all of those children in the orphanage? You'd just be like, that's valid.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm sorry, what?
It wasn't my intent. I could see why someone got the impression that I murdered all of those children. That is valid.
It's valid.
That's valid.
Mauler and Platoon commence with the smooth talking, gents.
This might scare you, but we have a whole ass show we run weekly too.
We do.
I've heard about this, yes. Do you fap hard to the ease?
We truly do. I will say, whenever we're involved in any kind of creator controversy, it's so funny having to see everybody say, like, have you guys seen the EFAB? It's like, oh, the EFAB covered it. EFAB. All those people are like, what are you saying? EFAB? It's like, yeah, that's the name.
You coming to Savannah, Georgia, May 15th for Geeks and Gamers meetup? No, I'm not going to that one, actually. I think I'm probably going to be away in the middle of May. But, yeah, I do enjoy the EFAP meetups when we do, like, MegaCon, that sort of thing.
The EFAP meetups?
Yeah, the famous EFAP meetups that happen.
Oh, sorry.
EFAP meetups?
Man.
I put it on your head.
I mean, we could all like meet up and just EFAP together, like,
Out of context, that sounds so crazy, dude.
It could become awkward.
He helped prove my point. Which, by the way, voted for by the fans. That's why the name is that.
It's like what they're doing is a group of men over there. They're just EFAPing.
Are they watching each other while EFAPing? Yeah,
dude, the best is when it's presented as like, a legitimate, good production show and everything, which of course it totally is. And then someone would reply being like, you understand, that sounds like electronic fapping. And everyone's like, what? Like, no way.
Say.
You don't say.
I noticed a lot of video essays talk about the need for sincerity. How would folks on the panel define sincerity? I mean, it's not exactly difficult. It's like you mean what you say and say what you mean.
Yes,
it kind of goes hand in hand with like authenticity a little bit.
Yeah,
like, you actually mean what you're putting out. So
try to do
honesty, lack of irony,
cynical, fucking smoky rooms talking about things underhandedly and only in subtext or passive aggressively. It's like more so just being pointed.
The ultimate test of this is when we compare something like the Snyderverse to the Gunverse. Right, within DC, where it's like Snyder had a ton of sincerity, he just didn't have ability in order to like get it across to the viewer. But like he 100% believed in the gravitas of all of the things he was doing, whereas Gunn lacks any kind of sincerity, but arguably is a slightly more slick production behind it. But I know which one I would prefer,
Yeah.
That's an interesting way that people respond to this stuff. They know it when they see it. Can't wait to hear Mauler hear Kendo's god tier lines in OG Resident Evil 2 as well as Chief Irons. Also, you guys should watch Danger 5. It has OG Resident Evil dialogue. Well, it's got to be good then.
Danger 5 is great.
You're not truly experienced Resident Evil 2 Mauler until you've heard the original Robert Kendo.
Well,
It's
that's
special.
the plan.
Yeah, feast or famine with long tenants, but a banquet of late. I think there might be several more courses coming up. Has anyone ever told Feral Historian that he looks like Ron Howard?
Every couple of days.
Yeah.
Didn't want to say anything, but it's kind of familiar.
Do you think we
Drinker.
get if we posted a screenshot that said critical drinker as Ron Howard on open bar?
It might work, by the way.
Yeah, you have to put on some glasses. It'll probably work.
Yeah, probably the Mary Sue will do an article about it, all angry, like, Ron Howard talks to known Chud, the critical drinker. Drinker, when will you start making beverage recommendations that will complement the films that you review? Predator would pair with beer, Mask of Zorro with tequila, Endgame with piss. I await my check. It's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, I like that. What would we pair? Christ, what would be a good example recently? Yeah, tell you what, when we were talking about Gunn, what would you pair James Gunn's Superman with?
No.
Can't say piss.
Watered down Johnny Walker Red.
I had a worse one. Watered down lemonade.
You know what? This is appropriate. You do like Diet Coke and Bailey's with some water as well. Just mix that together. Throw in a Sprout. Just
I feel like you would still drink that though. It's because it's got Bailey's in it.
Oh, could you imagine? You'd feel all of it.
Jeez, yeah.
Bailey's will curdle, won't it? If you put it in certain things.
You do not want to be mixing that shit.
Because there's a cocktail called a brain hemorrhage, and I think it's tequila. If you put Bailey's in tequila, it'll curdle, and then when you drink it, you have to chew it. I've only done it once in my life, and it'll probably be the last time I do it. It's not good. So now, not only do I have to see the only few father figures that I have in fiction get destroyed by Hollywood, now due to me caring for my cousin when my aunt wasn't, I'm considered to have an evil. Great. Yeah, that's pretty much where you're at in the minds of these people. So just embrace it, I guess.
Chud.
Yeah. Holy balls, have you got Feral Historian, apparently, or Ron Howard? That's a real classy haul. Big fan. Although I'm surprised he didn't film on his mountain. I still want you to do that, by the way.
Yeah, I just have to do some technical work on it to make sure it's going to actually be functional, because I expect the signal to drop out like my camera's been doing this whole damn thing.
Yeah. I'll do one more here. Legend has it that Mahler is still asking Drinker if he's done his Resident Evil stream shots Elijah Craig as my bourbon recommendation for stream.
So I really just wanted to make sure the numbers were accurate, which I don't think they were by the end. But
they weren't by the end, no.
Simultaneously, the way it would work, so everyone doesn't know, it'd be like, if you take a hit, you got to take a shot, and then me or Drinker would bump into dogs and get hit like 7 times in a row. We're like,
well, you end up shelving it, and you're like, okay, like I'm in the middle of the fight of my life here, so I need to get out of it before I'll do the shot. And then by the time you get out of it and you move on to the next section, you've kind of forgotten. And so you lose track, unfortunately. But I think that was our first clumsy experiment with it, right? And we're going to be more refined for the next one.
It'll definitely get better and not at all stay the same with how clumsy it is. Definitely. Anyway, I'll probably finish up there, right, guys? But I want to say thank you to my lovely panel that's joined me for tonight. Everyone that's come on. Kada, Feral Historian, Little Platoon. It's always a pleasure. Well, yeah, man. Always a pleasure having you on Platoon. And thank you guys, for joining us for the first time for this one.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Long time watcher, bro. Glad to be here.
Absolutely.
Good
stuff. Like to think I've contributed towards you like getting liver cirrhosis ultimately with all this drinking. So
oh yeah, well on the way.
Trying to do good things in life, but
shots, I'll be all right.
Yeah. And everyone that's joined us as well, thank you very much for this. And any super chats that we've missed, as we always do, we'll catch up with them for last orders. Now, I will also say the links for everyone's channels are in the description. So if you haven't subscribed to these guys already, please consider doing so because they deserve your subscriptions. But that right there is all we've got for today. So go away now.
Bye.
Peace out.